gonna hop off here in
live.
like
But you gotta watch. Of course, there's like the classics everyone knows, like Drunken Master and stuff like that. Like I still love stuff like Snake Fist Fighter and everything, but then when you get to like the Legend of the Drunken Master, crazy stunts in that, and then you get like the Police Story movie, like Police Story 1 on the bus and everything like that is wild, running down like the sides of like crazy, man. Of course, we all know the rush hours and stuff like that because they're great fun, but yeah, like I definitely
They
recommend
don't
checking out
compare.
that kind of era, mate. It's crazy what they would allow him to do or just
I've
expect
only
him to
seen
do.
clips and like just short videos of each one. Or probably
Mm.
not even each one, but
Alright.
I
Yeah,
need to watch them all.
yeah,
I'm just
man.
gonna say this right now. Rhino Horn S tier. Starting off strong. Rhino Horn S tier. We're starting off strong, okay?
Have, just before we leave the Jackie Chan conversation, did you see there was a video of like he got an award or something, and on the show like he had all his stunt
Oh
double
yeah,
crew
when
behind
the
him.
the JC stunt group were all behind him and stuff, like yeah.
I've never seen a film, but I felt that. He
Ah,
looked
bro.
so surprised and happy.
I cry
He was
watching
in
that.
tears.
I cry watching that. Like I'm an old man. I cry watching everything, but like sad Jackie it just goes straight to my heart. Like goddamn, like heartwarming stuff there.
Yeah, but then the comments are just filled with people talking about how much of a bad person he is. But like,
Say that to his face,
Yeah.
motherfuckers. It's like a million years
he'll,
old.
well,
He'll
I
kick
mean,
your ass.
if they did that, he'd probably prove them right. But he's shit out of
But he's like big time. If you go to China, he just owns so much land, so many businesses, so many everything. You know, it's like it's a completely
Oh,
different
really?
world. Yeah, man. Yeah, like
Shit.
good person to see talk about him is because of course they were in the Rush Hour movies together. Is if you watch like an interview with Chris Tucker or something,
Yeah.
talking about working with Jackie Chan and like going to China with him and stuff. Like it's a good little watch. Alright. I'm
Thank
gonna.
God, at least he's not one of the ones that are talking shit.
Alright, I'm gonna intro
Pretty
the video
upsetting.
quickly because I keep. We're gonna just talk about Jackie Chan for an hour and a half, which I don't mind doing. I should probably just do that as another stream
Oh, you should
sometime.
rank his video. You could rank his movies one time. Random stream.
Alright, get on Beybladers. Blade Bay X here. I am finally ranking all the Beyblade X blades, but a little bit differently. I wanna explore the meta as it's evolved over this first year of Beyblade X. So I'm not going to do all the different color variations and all that bullshit. That's yeah, you can do that yourselves. But I'm going to rank the main releases in the order that they came out in. So everything's going to be shifting up and down as we go. So we got. Sorry, let me please introduce. Of course, we have the Mim Sky, which everyone knows,
Howdy.
and the world.
It's me.
It's a Mim. We have the Mim,
I'm existing right now.
and we
I'm
have.
running on
Oh yeah,
a few hours of sleep.
the Mim has not slept in many days.
No.
Just
No, I've not.
constantly making shorts and
Yes.
Beyblade cards, as well as our other guest on Todoys. Is that Australian pronunciation? Oh, another guest on today's stream. We have the Juice.
Oh no, the juice.
The Juice is in the
Yes,
chat.
Lots of
Mim
the
has
juice.
not slept in a millennium.
No one has slept. I slept. I even had a nap today. I did that stream earlier, got some lunch, and then I had a little nap ski. That was why I've...
I almost fell asleep in Mim stream, but
Oh shit! Oh shit! Alright,
Okay.
Goat, he's made it. GG's in the chat. Sawadee crap. And Peter back for a second one, double dipping in one day. How you doing, chat? Alright, so we had 5 releases at the start of Beyblade X. Let me pull them out because there are a lot of things I am not going to be ranking on this list here. So we had BX01, Drowned Sword 2, I always forget which order it is. Is Night Shield 3 or is Wizard Arrow 3? I think Arrow's 3, isn't it?
No clue.
Yeah, I know. I'm so bad at it. But
Give me a minute.
all right,
Give me a
Juice
minute.
is on
I
it.
don't know.
Does it matter that much?
Juice is the man in the chair. You sound like you're from London.
I was reading that too. Yeah, you're from London.
You sound like you're from London.
Wizard was 4.
Wizard
Wait,
was
wait,
4.
We talking about
Yeah. You got
wait,
it.
what are we talking?
BX.
Number or
yeah.
Ratchet?
Number.
Oh, Wizard was 3.
Ah, yeah, I
Ratchet
was right
4.
the first way. Fucking around with me, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so out of our first 5 releases, if I'm on it, if we're gonna include S tier in this, which I don't know if we're. All right, we'll wait to it. But when we got to the first 5 releases, I think it's fair to say Hellscythe jumped straight into S tier, like very obviously from the start. Really powerful, fantastic counter attacker, fantastic if you put it on attack blade, really good at bursting, defensively sound, like it counter hits really hard, but of course, like what it's infamous for is just how fucking good the stamina is on this blade. Like,
Yeah, top of the meta instantly
I know,
for a while.
outrageous. Like I think when X came out, I made 2 combo videos straight off the bat. One was my Smash Knight combo, but then the second one was Hellscythe, I think 460 ball. A lot of people, I remember when X first came out, were playing it 380 ball for the burst resistance, but then like switched to 360 or 460. I think a lot of people tried to save the 360 for their attack base, but would often just compromise and use the 460 because it was easier to burst on Hellscythe. But yeah, I think Scythe is safely in the S tier, and I think right behind that was Dransword. Dransword's still a fantastic blade. I used it for all of today's stream. I know I was only playing against Nanashi using Dran combos, but like, what a hell of a blade. It's still a very versatile one. It's got great smash attack. When it's tilted, it's got great upper attack, especially on a fresh blade. And then when it gets into late game, it's got really good down smash. Pretty average stamina, but even when X released, I used to play this on 380 ball a lot, and I would outspin a lot of people soft launching their Hellscythe combos. So yeah, I still rate this blade highly, and it's like the first one we technically got if we're going in numbering orders. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Dran.
Yeah,
Big fan of Dran.
very solid on 2 out of the 4 bits from the start.
Right.
Oh, 3 out of 4, sorry.
Yeah, well, we got. I mean, I remember I was put off Dran a little bit when I first got it because I was so obsessed with making my Smash Knight combo. I just had that Dran sword starter and the Night Shield booster, the blue one, because all my stuff from Mauler Toys, like I didn't get that for months and months and months after release. They didn't say, fuck me, I'm not going to go on about that because it was still like until recently that I finally got a refund on some of the stuff I never got, you know.
Wow, Jesus.
Like my battle pass and stuff like that. That's been like ongoing, and part of it's me probably not replying to some emails back quickly enough, but like
no, it's them. Elliot didn't see his battle pass for months.
It's wild, isn't it? It's wild. Use discount code Blade. No, I ain't got no discount code from them. But
Don't know why you would. You wouldn't be seeing them.
No. Right behind. I mean, many people will disagree, but fuck them, they're wrong. I'm gonna put Night Shield in the A class next to that.
Yeah.
Especially at release. Like we all know, I'm a big fan of this blade. Like obsessively so.
That's cool.
But
Let's go.
I still think it's super versatile. I still use it like now to like great success using parts
Building
from the
the
first few
future.
releases, you know. So yeah, Blade versus everybody. That's the case. That's the case. uh, but yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Shield. You can put it on attack combos, and it can hit big, like walloping. That's the way I describe the way it hits stuff. It
Yeah.
like wallops with that like off balanceness. Hits big KOs. It makes big contact on ratchets.
Finally, someone who's cultured.
We got a Night Shield fan here. What's the Hasbro?
Hey, I'm
Day
also a Night Shield
one.
fan.
Alright, we got a gang of Night Shield lovers here, and it feels good.
You watched Illinox one, right? Not to shout out
I've
the other guys.
Oh no. I gotta admit, I've watched like a small chunk of the start of Illinox. I haven't finished it because I wasn't aware
Yeah.
that he was gonna pull up like a blade at a time and just chuck it like that, like, which is cool. But I'll be like, oh fuck, that's a lot of information. So I'm gonna sit down and watch that some other time, like. And
He disrespected Night Shield, all of them. I'll just say that.
Fair enough. You know,
So this is very nice to see.
it's the variety that adds some spice to life, you know. But personally, for me, and not even just personally, I've like seen other people have loads of success with it. Sorry, like people who love to launch just a fucking heavy smash attack, like attack combo. Night Shield's fantastic for those who like to launch something on like a defense bit and tank it in the center of the stadium. Night Shield's fantastic for that. Like, big fan of this blade. Like, there's a reason I think TT picked this to be their first G3 prize, because they probably assumed it was going to be one of the favorite blades from people just because of like how versatile it is. They probably didn't bank on how good Scythe was going to be. Like, look at now, they've picked Wizard Rod as their next G3 prize, like, because they're probably assuming that's going to get people to go to tournaments because they want to win it because it's good. So I think TT probably banked on Night Shield being more popular than maybe it was, but I think it's great. I'm a big fan. Wizard Arrow, that could probably stay down near an F. Now, when it was released, it was actually like, it's still a usable blade. It's still usable for stamina types. Like, it is. It's just not the best. I remember when everyone figured out that you should be using ball on Hell Scythe, Wizard quickly became something you either put on taper or like your third blade, because some people didn't like. Not everyone used like Hell Scythe on ball and then pretty much a stock Dran sword, and then it was then picking between what parts they wanted to use from arrow or shield, because it was only people like me that wanted to use Dranza.
Yeah, Wizard pretty much became obsolete pretty quickly.
Mm.
But it was solid at the start, of course. But then
and I mean,
fell out.
it's still like, just like in a vacuum, it's still a fantastic stamina blade. But it's just a shame that in the first 4 releases, when all the parts were meant to be quite clearly defined by one, and not to say that it isn't, because Hell Scythe is literally the definition of a really good balance type blade. It was just so good at stamina that it was outclassed out of the gate, you know? Zioka, I still remember the Night Shield Rush days. Goddamn, Night Shield on Rush. That was actually popular for a spell, wasn't it? Like, I still preferred flat, but I remember in a lot of videos back then talking about how I still prefer it on flat compared to everyone using it on Rush. But yeah, I think like Arrow has, like, because nothing was like C, D, or F tier, if like Hell's is all the way up in S tier back here, but like back July 15th, 2023, that can stay in B. Now, I'm going to make a concession here, and I'm going to put Dranza in the B tier at the bottom out of them all, because even though it was one of my top picks here and I still love it, this blade wasn't great until we got low flat, and still compared to most other things it's unreliable. It's you know, when we're trying to cope with something not necessarily being great, we call it like a high skill part. You know, I would call Dranza like my high skill part. You know, I've had a lot of success with the blade, so I've seen it win enough to not be able to say that it's bad, but it's extremely light and it's got less metal on it. The stock combo is not good. Yeah, so it's working against a lot of stuff, but it's Dranza S, so I still gotta show some love for it. Fucking monsoon storms just kicked up outside.
It was fun to use for like troll combos.
Yeah, was it Jank Maker? He's always going on about how he used Dranza on Spike in metals like CBT.
Oh my god.
But I get a message about that like at least once a day, I think. Right, our next release was Night Lance and Shark Edge.
It's a shame what they did to the OG Granza though.
Yeah. I mean, not gonna lie, the salt is there with the weights of the OG blades.
Exactly. It's just
yeah, it is a bit of a piss take. But I don't expect them to change. I think as we go on and they remake maybe F Series or VV2G and stuff like that, like the weight will increase. But at the same time, probably the weight of the mainline releases will probably have scaled up as well. So they'll probably always like just hover in like competitive obscurity. Yo, Jesus join the chats. Genuflect, please, everyone.
second coming. The third coming, no, it'll be the third coming.
Jesus is the man. He is the man.
He's the legend.
He is the legend. Alright. Well, actually, while I remember, let me just... Actually, no, I'll have to do that in a minute. My bad. Let me just carry on with this tier list making that I'm not doing. Jun Solis. Do I have Discord? Yes, we have got a channel Discord. If you go to the YouTube page in the description, it has the link. There's a bigger chat. GG. US Wave 1 Hasbro ex-owners out of their depth here. Yeah. Oh, juice on it with the link, my guy. But yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was in your description. That makes sense.
Nah. Fucking yeah. Like Hasbro is everyone who's tuning in and only has knowledge of Hasbro Bays. You're about to get a little peer into the future here, because your Wave 1 is like wild compared to what our Wave 1 was. Like, you got so much in like the first release, it makes zero sense to me, like the order they're releasing stuff in for Hasbro. Like,
it actually makes sense for Hasbro. That's the thing. It makes sense what they're doing. Here's the thing, they're doing it somewhat similar to what they did in Surge. It was like, oh, we're gonna release like a lot of big stuff first. Like a lot of bays don't normally know of, or know of, quote unquote, you haven't seen.
Yeah.
And then after the waves go on, it's like we're going to fill it in with bays that we've already released in the past.
Yeah.
So it makes it look like this is a big, huge wave. We're going to start at wave 1 and maybe wave 2.
Yeah.
But once wave 3 and 4 comes around, it's not going to be that big.
No. But I mean, what kind of like how quickly are they going to be releasing the anime episodes in the US? Is it going to be weekly, or are they going to be chucking out a couple at a time? Because like things like Phoenix Wing being released in wave 1, like we don't see Burn until like a good few episodes into the series, and like we have like Phoenix Feather before that. So are you never going to have a Phoenix Feather release for Hasbro? Or you know, these are the things that make it seem strange to me, because normally the releases come alongside the manga and the anime as like advertisements, so it syncs up to like, oh shit, this new character's cool, they've got this bay, I want to get that one now, when's that out? And it's like, oh shit, it's been out since launch. Like I don't know, it seems odd, but at least they're playing catch up. I'd be like salty if I'd been waiting for the last year and like all I got was like BX 1 to 5.
I mean, that's fair, but also at the same time with the string launcher stuff, Hasbro, if you look at the past stuff with Quad Strike, Quad Drive, the string launcher for Cyclone stayed on shelves for a long time. So if they were like, oh, what if we just put it in the very beginning so it sells, through the whole entire thing?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, by the end of X Season 1, we're still going to have maybe some string launchers still there.
Yeah, well, you got plenty of recolors to get through and stuff like that as well, so it just seems odd that you get the burn red string launcher before you get the generic black one, and before you get like even the generic black grip, it's
Yeah.
like, it just seems like they've literally just thrown shit at the wall and seen what stuck, and it's like, yeah, we'll release that first. Like, I don't know, it seems odd to me. It's like next wave, what are you going to get, like Leon Claw and stuff, because that's all before Phoenix Wing and stuff in the anime, and it doesn't make chronological sense in my head. I think that's why it fucks me up.
We currently don't know. We don't have any information on Leon Claw. It's weird.
Maybe they'll just skip it. Maybe.
Not much of a loss.
Alright, while we've been chatting shit about Hasbro, well, Mim's defending it to the bitter end. But
it almost turned into a debate. That's what I was thinking.
You now join us on the next episode of Beyblade Debates. But I've thrown Lance into the end of B tier because I was so hyped for this blade, because I absolutely love putting compact defense blades on like attack bits, and because it was releasing with Shark Edge, I was like, sweet, I'm gonna put this on low flat and it's gonna be a fucking menace in the stadium, and all it does is run out of stamina after one hit or self KO. It's fucking shocking. But
how did it win a tournament? That's my question.
What's that, sorry?
How did it win a tournament?
I mean,
Did it?
it's one of those. What did it, like as a solo combo in like a CBT, or like as a part of a deck?
But like straight up stock combo, it won a tournament.
Well, you know what?
Which tournament?
It was a ranked WBO tournament too up in Canada.
So
Oh.
this is one thing I love about Beyblade, because like from an outside, not even an outside perspective, even probably people involved in the hobby, they'll look at what I do getting ready for competitions and stuff like that and be like, fucking hell, this guy takes Beyblade a bit seriously, doesn't he? Like putting too much into your combos and stuff like that. But you get motherfuckers who just love playing the game, will turn up with their stock combos and just eat the competition alive. Like that's the thing about the luck aspect of something. Even if say a combo's win rate is only like 20% of the time and it loses 80% of the time, that 20% of the time could be completely random. So that tournament may have been all the wins you ever get with that Night Lance. From that day onwards, statistically, you may have to lose every single match. You just got all your luck on that day. That's one of the fun things about competition, is you can do whatever you want to prepare, but there's always going to be the aspect of just random and something like that. Like the finals of the Phuket G2, I lost, so I came second. The Kunpopu came first. He was using a stock Viper Tail, and his stock Viper Tail scored an over finish against my Phoenix Wing combo in the first round of the match, and like, who would expect a stock Viper Tail of all the stock combos to top a G2 tournament, it's just
That's weird.
one of those things, because again, the reason I talk shit about Night Lance is because it's such a 50-50 blade. Like, it's going to have massive recoil, but who's going to be the one to get KO'd is my issue there.
I like it. It's a fun blade to use for, like, put it on Rush.
And that's the thing, because it's a lot of fun, and like I said, I love putting like heavy recoil like defense blades on attack bits, because it's so much fun to launch in the stadium. But when I talk about like from a competitive standpoint, like that's really risky because you can't predict what's going to happen. Like you can't aim the launches so well, and it's not like it's reliable to be like, oh, when it hits, it's still got a couple shots left in it, because it does lose stamina super quickly after like a big impact. But the other release alongside it was Shark Edge, and I remember the 3D renders were like data mined from the Takara Tomy app before we even got X released, and everyone was so hyped about this, like so hyped about this. I was like super excited about this, and then when I found out it was going to be on low flat, it was like my wet dream. I was like so excited. Like, and that's it. Do you either of you have the original Takara Tomy like prize based Shark Edge?
I do.
No, we just have Hasbro.
Okay, so have you compared the original TT one next to the Hasbro one?
I would if I had the Hasbro.
Oh, okay. I need to combine you two together to complete this puzzle.
Yeah, let me just buy a $3,000 ticket just to compare.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I did have a Hasbro Shark Edge, but I gave it away for the giveaway I had.
Ah, okay.
So it wasn't mine.
Like the main.
Crazy.
I would love to compare it though now.
Well, that's the main reason I ask, because when I see images of the Hasbro one, it kind of looks more specular, like the plastic inlay in the middle. It looks like a little bit more see-through, and like it's like kind of more glittery purple than the Takara Tomy one.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen photos where it does look more see-through.
Yeah, like, but I haven't seen them next to each other, so I can't really know, because there is a little bit of that with the TT one already, so it could just be lighting and stuff. But
with the green ones, because I've compared them, there's not much of a difference.
Okay. Yeah.
Except for like the bit. The bit has like a tiny slight green shade to it, it's like a darker green shade to it. Other than that, they look identical.
Makes me laugh, because when we got the spoiler, well, not really the spoiler, but when we found the images for Shark Edge, like the custard shark, the banana shark was spoiled alongside it, and I just remember everyone like talking shit about that, like all but like 3 or 4 people liked the yellow one, and I was like, damn, I think it's pretty cool. Everyone talks shit on yellow Beyblades, I swear.
Oh,
the piss Beyblade.
No, some of them look really nice in person. It's just the renders that don't do them justice.
GG. Works every time. 60% of the time. Works every time. Jesus, yeah. Night Lance, I can agree on. Shark Edge is kind of 50-50, and it's interchangeable with Sword, depending on how you see it. Yeah, so I don't put... Like, at this point in the meta, where we were when Shark came out, I put it higher because it was extremely popular, and it was like... People mainly picked it because they wanted to counter Hell Scythe, because that was all it was about, was trying to burst or KO Hell Scythe. So I actually took a stock Shark Edge to 2 G3s I did in Bangkok, like when they first launched them over here back in November last year, and it put in loads of work for me. I still think personally, I still think the best combo for Shark Edge is its stock combo. Like, you can switch the 360 for 960, but I still think it's just the best way to make it work. Like, if you're not doing that with it, you should probably make a static attacker with it, and I think there are better blades for static attackers. Like, the stamina on Shark Edge is poor. Like, none of the attack blades it's amazing on, but Shark Edge's stamina is like really, really poor. But the great thing about it is it can hit a KO even if it's got 0 stamina left. Like, you just make contact on it the wrong way and it just scoops something up and like throws it out. So it's one of those ones I think is a bit too much of a wild card. Like, I don't use it. It is kind of like 50-50, but not as bad as Night Lance, and
it's still used a lot too.
100.
Okay.
Like, people love it still. Like, I can't understand why people like using Shark Edge 560 XL so much. This combo makes 0 sense to me. It's like putting the worst bit for stamina and
So?
catching the X-rail and stuff like that on a ratchet
stamina
that
there.
protrudes out wider than the blade, on a blade with no stamina at all. It's like if you don't hit a KO on like your first extreme dash, you either lost by spin finish or you've just like extreme finish yourself. Like I don't know, maybe every time I've seen Excel, it's probably just been the
Like
worst
Gamble.
performance it's ever had. Like everyone else is seeing something I'm not, but I just can't get on board with that bit at all. Like,
Gambling, man.
yeah, I know. Fucking, can you tell how I feel about Excel?
Yes.
L?
XL.
Oh,
So-
XL
oh,
bit.
my bad.
Just a list. But if you hit the bay
XL,
early,
like, what
you have a
hit
big
is
change to win the game.
XL?
Like, and that's the
I
thing.
think it
It's
still should have been called
it's-
Assault.
it's just how it is. It's just how it is. Like high risk bays. Like I love them. But like, oh man, it's tense when you're doing like I don't know. Like when I was doing the stream the other day, that tournament had 364 players. It's like, goddamn, you make it to that point, you start really questioning your combos, and you're like, should probably go with something a bit safer here.
Oh, was there anyone like at any point have the exact same combos as the opponent for all three bays?
I
Did you
don't
know
remember that. I mean, there were plenty of Rod 960 ball mirror matches.
Yeah.
A lot of those. There are a lot
A
of
lot of
Phoenix
Phoenix.
160 Rush mirror matches. And actually, I would say probably the most popular three combos, if you're going to make a deck out of individual parts for that whole tournament, would have been Phoenix 160 Rush, Rod 960 Ball, and then Tyranno Beat 560 Taper. That would probably have been the most popular deck that day. If you're going to compile everyone's like individual combos and boil them down, it probably would have been like those three blades. Definitely the most popular. Like, and I'll talk about it when we get up to it, because I'm taking my sweet time on this ranking. But like I've gone off Tyranno Beat a little bit. Where were we after this? After this, we got to Leon Claw and Viper Tail, if I remember correctly. Where the
My
fuck?
words are still cool.
I was just looking at Leon Claw, I swear. Come on, brain. Key on it.
He's right there.
It's right there. Right next to you. Right beneath you. Have I scrolled over it and gone, there we go. Sneaky boy. Where's that Viper Tail? Why are they not in order? Why are these two together here? And this one's over here. I know, I'm just saying, like, why are these two motherfuckers over here? And he's like, who the fuck made this list? I appreciate whoever made this list, by the way, because I would not have had the, I
I
energy
thought
to
you
do
made
it.
it.
No, fuck no.
This is the same as that Zuma used.
Like,
Oh, okay.
I have not got the patience to fucking make this thing. Goddamn. I've just been there,
Also-
like, if no one had made this list already for me to play with, I would have just been sat here going, I like this Beyblade the most, and then I like this Beyblade next, and then I like it would have just been all like theatre of mind.
I was saying that Leon Claw was like right there, but I couldn't even see it on the stream.
No.
It wasn't even in view. So I
Uh,
was just saying it just to say.
GG's already saying F tier is too high for Leon. Go accelerate.
Send it down.
It's probably easier to say ass.
Taper to Zuma.
Ass accelerate.
Zuma.
Jesus, I've only seen
Send him
XL on
into a
Rhino. Yeah, like that's an awful combination right there. But a fun one for sure. Like that's what I mean. Compact defense blade on like an attack bit. Perfect definition of it. A lot of fun. Awful though. Awful. Right, so on release, what impact did Leon Claw have on the format? Genuinely zero impact on the format when it was released. It was like, even when it came out, it was like fringe for like tournaments. Everyone was excited about Point and
Yeah,
560.
there.
They overshadowed Leon massively, and especially with the Viper Tail blade coming out at the same time, being quite heavy and having some different mechanics to it than we had seen in other blades. like the Leon Claw blade like fade into obscurity. Like personally, I had better performances using Dranza than I did Leon, but other people, and in my testing videos as well at the time when I was doing more RNG style battles using the Noozle stuff and that, Leon Claw was getting wins. Like Leon Claw was genuinely getting wins. So I'm gonna be not generous, but I think fair here. I'm gonna put it above Dranza S for when it was released.
Generous would be putting it in D tier, okay? That's what generous would be. Stick it in F tier.
We got
Put it in there.
right, we're not at the end of the list though, because remember this is chronological. Everything's gonna shift around a little bit at points, but I think it's fair where everything is at the moment so far. This little point in time seems about right. I love that you're telling me to put it into F tier in chat and in Discord. Yeah, Peter Nazuma's coming for us. Alright, I have no idea how to pronounce his name. I'm getting Dranbuster today. Sick. It's like A5 HC4 Tachum. Ash Ketchum. Is that? Yeah, Ash Ketchum. There we are. Getting Dranbuster today. Sick, dude. Have some fun. Like, you can instantly throw out the Excel bit, but put it on anything else, you'll have a lot of fun with it. Alright. Viper. When Viper came out, honestly, Viper 560 Rush was hell of a combo, because it out-stamina'd Shark, and Shark wasn't KOing it. It did well against Dran's sword, did well against everything other than Hellscythe. So for me, it kind of like went A tier when it was released. Like, it has dropped massively since then, in my opinion. Like, I don't even put it above the other stuff in A tier at the moment now, but when it came out, it felt like it was the fucking blade to be. Like, for me at least. I don't know if you guys had the same experience with it, but like, it was super popular, I think, when it first came out and was allowed to be used. It was kind of a weird time over here in Thailand because it got made legal for tournaments, and then pretty much at the same time, like everything else, like Wyvern Gale and Phoenix Wing was coming out, so everyone was just hyped on them already. But I just feel like when it came out, it was like super useful. Dranbuster S tier, dude, no chance. No chance. We're not there yet, but no chance. But I think the moment what was next? It was Rhino was next, wasn't it? And then we got the deck sets. But yeah, Rhino. What a fucking fart in the wind that was. There you are. That was like Spike. I mean, I gotta be fair, Spike has its uses because it is, in terms of defense bit, it is very good at sticking in the stadium, but it's so easy to off balance. And with that being, defense bits in Beyblade X being so easy to burst, I don't know, there's something that doesn't add up quite right, because you think of a defense type as being able to tank stuff in the middle, and when you come up against them, your main strategy against them is to try and burst them. I don't know, how do you guys feel about Rhino Horn?
Rhino's a huge disappointment. It shouldn't exist.
Mim's like S tier now.
It has Spike.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna probably cop some more hate for this, but I had Rhino at the bottom of everything when it came out. Like, instantly dropped down. Like, and I was so excited to put it on low flat and just launch it as hard and fast as possible and get KOs, but nah, it did not do it. Nak Nate. are you going to do tips and ratchets too, or just full Beyblades? So I'm not doing the full Beyblades. I'm just ranking the blades, but I'm kind of talking about where they sit. So the combos that they're involved with, where they sit in the meta. So not just the blade purely ranked on its own, but when it was released, kind of like how it impacted the meta. And I'll talk about like the combos that they're used on the most. It's just we're still quite early days in the format here. So I mean, even now we're not even a full year in yet. Like, I feel like we've had a lot of releases quite quickly, but when you look at like the total number of Beyblades there are, there's not really that many unique pieces yet. But what did we? It was the deck sets after this, wasn't it? They were very exciting releases. So we had Dagger and Chain come, didn't we? And it's Chain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you just clicked on a Mammoth Tusk instead of Chain, or is it Tusk Mammoth? Come on, brain. You can see how it's there. You are. There you are. We found it. We found it, Jack. We found it. Put size lower. He gets power creep. I mean, it comes down. It comes down, but I think even at this point, it was still like you could put this blade on any part, and it's still probably going to be better than most of the other combos you could make at the time. Viper Tail, second lowest A on release, nowadays mostly high B. That's a fair shout, actually, having it lower on the A tier when it came out. I just remember at the time, maybe it was just that recency bias of the time, but because people were so excited by it and we hadn't had an attack type like this quite yet. Like, it was pretty good defensively because it was heavier, and we were all looking for a good defense combo to get rid of Night Lance and free up Night Shield for other stuff. Or a lot of people just didn't use Night Shield by this point, but the people who did, like, because I was using it for defense and attack combos at the time, like, really used it and had good results. And it was still one of the heavier blades at this point. Like, the heavier blades at this point were Dran's Sword, Viper Tail, Shark Edge, and Night Shield. So out of those 4 blades, they would typically be one of your attack combos.
Would you use it today? How much for you to use it?
Viper Tail?
No, Night Shield.
Night Shield. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, now I think Night Shield matches up better because what's great about X so far is certain blades and parts have gotten better with the release of new things, and certain things have like faded off more. Like, Night Shield, I think, still holds a lot of clout for me anyway, just because I probably test it more than a lot of people do, to be fair, so I see it more. But I think it matches up really well against Phoenix Wing. Like, if I've got like my Smash Knight combo, like so Night Shield 360 flat, and I'm coming up against any type of Phoenix Wing combo, I feel super confident because I know that I can just launch super hard into that combo and it will batter the stamina out of it. And because Phoenix is so heavy, it doesn't have great life after death, and it just topples over when it runs out when it's on like super low stamina. So yeah, I typically can get like earlier wins in Night Shield. Like, I might have to like do a full on like I did a video where I had that Night Shield combo take on the meta when I made like the gold version of it using the G3 prizes. But I think if I was using my proper like blue one with all the max heavyweight parts and stuff like that, I think it would do a lot better against the current meta. Like, my only reason I don't use it in tournaments at the moment is just because of Wizard Roll on Ball. It doesn't have a great time trying to KO that. Like, it just doesn't. Like, that blade's 2 round and Night Shield's 2 round. It just doesn't work against each other as well. Jesus, Rhino had interesting uses, so prob just bumping it up only a little is a hot take, but still lock it in C. Definitely doesn't stay in C up till now for me. Like, it's fun, but yeah. Saber Viper on 8. Alright, remember, You're probably not reading the title as you jump in. I don't blame you. This is a chronological ranking, so everything's going to move as we progress through, and it probably will do now, because Chain and Dagger had a huge impact when they came out. For me, I still stand by the idea that if Phoenix Wing didn't come out, Chain would probably be the blade that everyone was using for a long time. I think Chain was great. I think when it came out, for me personally, it overshadowed. Yeah, like that's the thing. It was so quick, like it just didn't get to be around. But as a defensive tank, it kind of like overshadowed Shark. But also it made Viper Tail like pointless because it's just a better version, in my opinion. Like defensively better stamina. I like using it on attack combos as well, and I think Viper kind of like sat above like Wizard. Although actually no, tell another lie. I think Wizard became a bit more viable again for like second stamina combo because we had Orb at this point, so a lot of people were using Hell Scythe on Ball and then using Wizard on Orb, because even though it's more fun to use attack types and stuff like that, stamina types is still the safest bet whenever you're making a combo. Like outspinning your opponent in a game of like spinning tops is like still the best strategy to have. Like KOing stuff like attack types, they're risky because they got lower stamina and you have to do something extra to get the win. You know, you have to KO or you have to burst. And then defense types are basically attack types with better stamina, so it's, you know, it's stamina's still a very like the strongest archetype overall, I'd say. And like the fact that Orb came out and started getting used more often, because you'd have Orb on Hell's Chain, you'd have Orb on, everyone was chucking Orb on fucking anything to see if it would work, and it did. It was really good. So it made Chain really good, and it made Arrow a lot better. Night Lance could probably go down to C tier by this point, but we'll leave it there for the moment. Dagger, I still think's fantastic. I don't think as an all-round blade it's better than Dran's Sword. I think Dran's Sword is awesome, but when it came out it's definitely used a lot. I would put this over Night Shield, where people were using it at this point, and I think now at this point it's fair that I bump Night Shield down. Like, I love it, I still think it's great, but it's not, you gotta remember, it's not as easy for everyone to use. Like you gotta get a bit more because I'm not gonna be like too like soft about it and say that, oh yeah, it's the skill and it's your whatever with the blade too much, because some parts are just straight up like objectively better. But I think you do have to factor in at least a little bit like ease of use and accessibility for people. Yeah, Saber. So now Viper's been knocked down now, bro. Down to B. Being rated as they were. Yeah. Thanks for straightening that up, Goat.
Still killing it on S.
Yeah. Still at this point, it was still better. Like everyone was hoping, because Chain is heavier, that it would be a better scythe, but it just wasn't. Like we tried it out. We all put it on Ball when it came out to be like, ooh, is this going to be the better Hell's Blade now? And it was great, but goddamn, Hell's Scythe, so good. Dagger and Chain and F. No, I'm just putting them there while I get ready to pick where they go, dude. Don't worry. Romeware. By the way, I don't know if you know that Night Shield has an unbalanced blade, and if you use a ratchet to unbalance it more, it's better at defense but drops a lot of its stamina. That's actually a really good design by Takara. Rome, I am a very big fan of Night Shield, and thank you for joining the chat. Thank you for joining the live. But yeah, no, that is why I absolutely love that blade. It's been my favorite since release. Oscar, why so early, man? Early for you, bro. It is 8:30 at night for me. Jesus, we got to get Nanashi to rank Dagger. Like, bro, get Nanashi. Like, if I sat Nanashi down, I don't know if he's been in chat or anything yet. I haven't missed him. Yo, Maruns, how's it going, bro? Thanks for dropping by, man. But if I sat Nanashi down to rank parts, he wouldn't know the fucking name of any of them, and he would only be able to rank the parts that he's like really used, because like I'll give him a Beyblade or something when we're doing the streams and it's like, oh, I haven't actually used this one yet, or I haven't seen this one yet. I'm like, bro, you've used and seen it so many fucking times. It's just you only use a variation of like 3 to 5 blades and bits that you actually know. Like,
come on, Nanashi. After this point, you should be learning these things.
Bro,
I say that as I launch my base into the pockets.
That's the thing. He's doing it in reverse, like everyone else. Like. I'm still waiting to see Mim use an actual official stadium in one of his streams. Like,
bro,
I'm not hating it. It's a lot of fun.
Use the X Stadium, but with burst bays instead. So like,
yeah.
But I love it. I love that. Like, that's the kind of shit I'd be doing, is building stadiums as well.
He's built different because he doesn't use the protection shroud. So he'll get
exactly. Yeah, screw the shroud. I get amazing clips every time I get hit in the nipple by a Beyblade.
Bro, the amount of times, like the stream, not today, but the stream yesterday, the amount of times I nearly lost my camera lens, the blades flying out the top. Like, it was stupid close. Like, every time it would happen, like, Nanashi would just look at me like, like,
I ain't paying for that.
Oh god. Bubble, what you saying? Is defense my favorite archetype? Good question. I would say that for a long time it has been, and when X came out, I was trying to make defense base work, but we just don't have like any good reliable defense bits yet. At least I don't feel like we do. Like, I love the shape of High Needle, but the low burst resistance and the fact it's like that millimeter higher just makes it way less usable. Like, I still try and make it work in combos. Like, I still love it on 560 and Unicorn Sting.
Blade.
Yes.
Sorry, I have a question. Where's shouldn't Drake be on the?
Oh fuck! Yeah, of course it should. My bad, dude.
I remember like when it dropped, but I was looking at it in the list I've got.
It was very early on in the release. I think it was around the kind of time Shark Edge or Leon Claw came out that you could get it. Yeah, it would have been before. Yeah, it would have been right around Shark Edge, because that's when I got mine. I got mine in November 2023.
I got to it because I was thinking of like Phoenix Wing was coming up.
Okay.
Phoenix Feather as well. I was thinking of Phoenix Feather, and then
I
was like, oh yeah, the BX00s are on the field because Drance is right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
No, well remembered, dude. Well remembered. Yeah. So with Cobalt Drake, this is probably where I'll gain some enemies, because like I got it early on, quite early on, I'd say, and I battled with it like fuck non-stop, especially when I first got it, and I just wasn't impressed by it at all. Like, I just wasn't. Like, the weight was awesome. It was so cool to have, looked great, but I just felt like it didn't have great contact points. It was really off balance, so it was hard to make like a anything but like an attack type with it, because I thought it'd be cool to be because it's not really protruded the contact points too far. I thought it might be a good kind of like defensive type or something like that, but I just couldn't make it work in a combo I liked. And of course I recently went back to it in one of my other streams a couple of days ago, where I was using the blades that I'm not a big fan of, and it did really, really well on Hexa. So later on in the stream it may climb up the ranks, but when it came out, for me it was probably like towards the top of the B tier for stuff. Like, I preferred Night Shield to it. Like, I 100% prefer Night Shield to it. Like, even now I prefer Night Shield to it. Like, this is probably where I'll cop my first bit of big controversy from people, but I didn't rank it very highly when it came out at all. Like, how do you guys feel about it? Because you've got a couple of them now, haven't you, Juice?
I barely used it. I used it once, and that was at the end of the stream the other day. And even before then, I'd rarely seen any videos on it. So it's like I never really watched anyone that had it, so I had no idea how it played. I mean, Zanky had it, but I don't watch Zanky, so I wouldn't know.
Well, when
Oh.
we had the first G1 in Japan, so like early to mid December, this was. It was used in everything. The main deck being used at that time because they did the G1 to coincide with the Phoenix Wing release was Phoenix Wing, Cobalt Drake, and Hell Scythe. Like that was like the deck at the time. And it made sense just to have Cobalt Drake, in my opinion, just because of how much heavier it is. And at that time, that was significant because like it was out before Phoenix Wing, so it could bully stuff around a lot more. One of the best matchups against it, I thought, was Hell's Chain and Dran's Sword, and Night Shield. But attack types at the time, I preferred Dagger, I prefer Shark, I prefer Sword. I'm pretty sure Cobalt Drake was out before Dagger, but
It was.
Yeah.
yeah.
was.
I
So, if I remember correctly, during the awards, when all the voting was going on, I believe there was a few votes for Cobalt Drake. It wasn't as popular because I remember Dark Edge had just gotten released, and we got the information on Leon Claw, like the renders and pictures.
yeah.
But it didn't end up securing a top 4 pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for a lot of
That would've been based on
people,
design alone.
yeah, exactly, because even now, not many people have had like hands-on with it, you know.
Yeah.
No.
So a lot of it is just the kind of like the myth and the wonder and stuff of like the rare baguette that no one can get their hands on, and you know.
I mean, the few times I've used it, it's burst like 3 times
And
already.
that's the other
Like,
thing
it's
with the
better.
weight of that blade. Like, if you don't have
It's like, what are you doing?
yeah, like I will say now, and especially in prep for the stream I did the other day when I was using it, I think Hexa has redeemed this blade a lot, and it's actually for me redeemed the Hexa bit. If you check any of my streams and stuff, when it comes to a Hexa combo, you hear me rant on about it and stuff. But I think Cobalt Drake, with its weight and off balanceness, actually negates some of my least favorite attributes about Hexa. And Hexa, with its like counter attack and good like stamina for a defense bit, actually negates some of the negative attributes that Cobalt Drake has for me. So it's like 2 negatives times by each other make a positive. So it's kind of like it's kind of like when you stick those bits together, it kind of redeems itself for me. I think that's a pretty reliable combo. I was using Drake 560 Hexa, if I remember right, as kind of like a defensive tank, and I'd use it again. I'd let it rip again with that combo. I'd spin steady with it. I'm sorry, I haven't checked the chat. Ash Ketchum, I have to wear gloves now because I'm launching them so hard. Goddamn, bro. Goddamn. Let's see those RPM numbers. Blade is an OG Ultra Seal kid. Yes, he is, of course. I'm a defense boy. Jesus, defense types are fun, but X just kind of nerfs it so hard. Could not agree more. If you like high needle combos, try Hexa. It's almost the same. Has really good stamina and the best burst resistance for all the static tips. It does. I'll go on about my gripes about Hexa because you've brought it out of me, chat. But it has a fantastic defensive shape, but because of those flat bits and its like counter-attack ability, I think especially early on in a match when everyone's like got the most energy in their launches and stuff, if you knock it at all, it's just going to accelerate really fast and more than likely hit itself into the rails, because like the kind of it's like sticking power works with and against it. Like when it's completely upright, it's fantastic and defensively really sound. When it tilts a little bit and accelerates, it typically connects with the rail and it goes real fast and self KOs a lot. Like if I see Rod on Hexa, I'm trying to make it self KO. Like Rod on Hexa is the best Hexa combo, but I still think it's a waste not putting Rod on Ball, because Rod on Hexa will pretty much always lose to Rod on Ball. But yeah, I think Hex is great, and that's why I think it works with Drake so well, because of Drake's weight and off balanceness. It stops it from self KOing and accelerating too much. Yeah, that's my little rant on Hexadon for this stream. I think. I don't know. You might get it out of me again. You might get it out of me again.
I think we're gonna get it again once we cover UX.
So Feather was at this point, wasn't it? Feather was before we got Gale and Unicorn or Sphinx and stuff. Like, pretty sure Feather was
before Wing.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been Gale and Feather around the same kind of time, wouldn't it?
Oh, it was Feather after the Phoenix Wing?
No, Feather was before Wing in release. I got Cora
Wyvern was after Phoenix Wing.
Wyvern was after Wing, was it?
Yep.
Alright, I gotta get going. I'll see you boys later.
No.
Alright, Mim, thank you very much. Thank you for...
Goodbye, Mim. Have a good day.
Coming along. I'll catch you in the next one, bro. We'll do some card games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Alright, I'll put it like this, because we'll work through it like this way.
See y'all.
See you later, bro.
Bye.
Take it easy, man.
You too.
Likes in this chat for Mim. Show him your love. Show him your love. Alright. I'm gonna do the Phoenix Feather Blade Fire. I fucking love Phoenix Feather, man. Like, for me, Phoenix Feather is what I wanted Dran's sword to be, like, in terms of attack types. I don't think it's as versatile as Dran's sword. I'd still rank Dran's sword higher than it as an overall blade. But as an attack type blade purely, I really, really like Feather. I think it's got the same kind of like 3-wing balance, similar to Dran's sword, but the kind of like feather pattern, like motif on it, I think it makes it better for contact with your opponent's ratchet. Like putting this on like 360 or 960 low flat and just trying to burst people is like the upgrade to Dran's S that I wanted. I really like this, especially when it came out. Do you have your hands on a Feather yet?
Yeah, I've got I think I got 2 of them.
Nice.
But yeah, I really used it.
Yeah, it's hard for a lot of people with like the exclusives and stuff like that to want to use them, but I really liked it. For me personally, I would use it as attack type above Shark, but I don't think competitively that's where it really plays, because it's quite a light blade in comparison to like sword and stuff like that. So I would probably put it around the same area as Wizard Arrow, but also by this point I haven't paid attention to it. Night Lance definitely drifts down here to C rank by this point.
Back when it dropped, I was mainly just a collector for these. I battled like here and there.
Yeah.
But I wasn't heavy into it.
Yeah.
I've seen things of Phoenix Feather was decent, but not a lot of videos for it.
Well, I mean, even over here, most people weren't using their Phoenix Feather combo. They just wanted to get it and get the red Dran sword reprint so they could make the stock combo and just be done with it, you know, which is fair enough. Whereas I really wanted to battle with it because I was like, oh shit, this looks like a fun blade. Now, I still, even though it's not had a technical, like, it's not had an official release here in Thailand, we're not meant to use it for official tournaments. I still go to, like, most weekends, like, not official Takara Tomy like tournaments, so people use stuff like Phoenix Feather and that. People use it a lot at the moment on like static attack combos. So I see it like some people sacrifice using Rod on ball so they can use Feather because they like it more. Like not because they think it's competitively better.
That it can't be used.
Well, it's just because it's not had because it only comes out in the comic, and the comic isn't officially released here. Like we can't have it. So yeah.
So then you won't be able to use the blue Kodron sword then?
No.
Or would it because
not in an official tournament here, no. But I'm literally playing
that's unfortunate.
at a tournament on Sunday trying to win one, and I'm hosting a tournament at the end of the month where the main prize is won as well. So it's like everyone here's got them, we're just not allowed to use them in official tournaments. Like it's really frustrating. Yeah, everyone's saying good night, Mim.
How often do you have just like casual tournaments that you're allowed to use these bays?
Every weekend, basically, like pretty much every
Oh,
Sunday,
nice.
playing at one. Yeah, so I don't really rock up with like stuff like Cold Drake and that because just no one else there will have one, so it feels a bit like shitty, you know, like being like, ha ha ha, I've got this,
I
and no one else can fucking play with
yeah.
it.
Oh, okay, I
Like
get it.
when
Yeah.
I do turn up with it, it's mainly just in like my case, and like I let
You
mates
don't
who
want to
haven't had a
flex it.
chance to like play with it or something, they just want to do some fucking battles, you know, go for it, because I'm not precious about keeping this one in good
Right.
condition because it's been battled with so much anyway. Like,
Yeah, you don't want to flex it, but then watch it get burst 3 times in a row.
yeah, you know.
Save the embarrassment.
It's like this guy's turned up with Drake thinking he's gonna be fucking just walk through us and we fucking beat him easy. Like, fuck this
Nice
guy.
Frank. He's drawn sword.
Alright, so Wing before Wyvern Gale. I feel like that's a bit of a misnomer to rank Wing before Wyvern because like Wyvern had next to no impact really on the meta overall. I'm not saying it's a bad blade, like I really like it, and I had a lot of fun the other day putting it on 160 rush and kicking the shit out of everything with it. But it didn't really impact the meta. I think it became a better stamina blade than Wizard Arrow, but I think that's also swapped again. I think people probably use Arrow more than they do Wyvern Gale now because Wyvern Gale I think has issues with being easier to burst because of something to do with like the way the blade attaches to the ratchet, like those parts, the pegs in it or something. I don't think they're quite as strong as or they're like there's a wider gap in them. But I think the introduction of Phoenix had a huge impact on the meta because I think it went straight to the top of S tier. It made Hell Scythe probably like this is where I don't think this is if I have a problem with anyone else's rankings or tier lists, and this is where alright, clip this, get Blade Bay X and shit with every other Baytuber. Where I have an issue with other people's tier lists is that if you have an S rank, it's very hard to justify having more than one thing ranked at S rank because S rank should be something that pretty much matches up amazingly against everything else. Like,
So that's why you've only had Hell Scythe up there while the others are down in A.
yeah, because like you can't say Hell Scythe is S rank and also put Dransword up there because Dransword doesn't match up as well against Hell Scythe, even if it matches up well against everything else. And then when Phoenix Wing came out, Hell Scythe notoriously matches up really badly against Phoenix Wing. So how can you put Hell Scythe alongside it in S rank if it can't match up well against everything, you know? Whereas Phoenix immediately matched up fantastically against just about everything. But I do think it reshuffled the meta a little bit. I think it made Dagger, when it came out, a little bit worse. I think Dagger dropped down a little bit there. Shark probably stays at the bottom of A tier when Phoenix came out. I think this is about fair here. Drake became better because it was heavier. Because it couldn't be bullied around by Phoenix, it probably snuck its way to the bottom end of A tier. Literally just on weight alone and not being easy to bully. My personal preference at the time, if I had a Phoenix Wing matchup, was to use a Knight Shield combo. I thought they matched up well, but I think most people probably disagree with that. I think it matched up fantastic. I still think it matches up really well with Phoenix combos. So I'll put it to the top of B and not be too cheeky. But I think when Phoenix Wing came out, this is probably kind of like what the meta looked like for what people were using, because it was pretty much every deck. If it was in Japan, every deck was Phoenix Wing, Hell Scythe, Drake. And if they didn't have Drake, they were probably using Dran, Chain, or Shark at the time, would typically be the combinations I'd see. Because even though everyone really liked Dagger as well when it came out, that faded to obscurity quite quickly, in my opinion. Ash Ketchum, do you know there's a chase variant for Tusk Mammoth? Is there? They got a fancy Tusk Mammoth already? Or is it like a weird kind of like random chance you'll pull it in the stadium set or something? You heard anything about this?
Shit, sorry, I was listening, but I had to do my Duolingo before it hit 12.
Good man, good man.
What happened?
Good man. No.
Yeah, I got it.
I commend you. I commend you. You gotta stay consistent. 1% every day, bro. 1% every day. No, I just got asked in the chat if I know that there's a chase variant for Tusk Mammoth. And no, I did not know that. I was asking if you knew about this.
A chase variant?
Yeah, like, is it like
What does that mean?
I imagine he means like a recolor or something like that. Probably.
No, there's no recolors at the moment. No.
Yeah, he's saying there's a black metal Tusk Mammoth. You have it. Ash Ketchum, I'm going to need to see pictures to believe this, because I've never heard of it. Yo, Mad Maxi, he's in the chat.
Does he mean Hell's Chain? That's the only black metal.
Oh, maybe. But I thought Tusk was meant to be a retool of Scythe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Even though it looks more like Chain, in my opinion. I think it's like a recolor or retooling of Scythe, isn't it?
I think it's Scythe, and it also they gave it the Night Shield treatment with that extra weight on one side.
Oh yeah.
That level up bit on Night Shield.
I'm gonna try at some point, probably around August, or probably not until the end of September, to get my hands on
Apparently it's a
Hasbro.
Flame brand. Apparently it's Flame brand variant.
Let's see. Oh yeah, if it's Flame brand variant, I've got loads of recolors that Takara Tomy haven't done. Like I got Black Dran sword, I got fucking red Night Shield, but like metal coated, like all that shit,
they
bro.
held up?
Bro, so I've been threatening editing this second review of all the fakes for Beyblade X for like nearly a year now, probably. Like, I was thinking about this today. I was like, oh shit, the first one I published was ages ago. I've been going about, like, because I've been filming bits consistently as fakes have been coming out for that video. And it's almost like it's becoming one of those things where, oh shit, this is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger every time. And then when I see how big it is, I'm like, no, I want to condense this down even smaller. But then something else, like, I haven't done anything with the new UX fakes yet, because they've come out now. And bro, the quality of like gameplay you get from the newer fakes, oh sorry, I keep fucking burping. The quality of gameplay you get from the newer fakes is really, really good. The original fakes that came out, I think it was pretty poor, the gameplay level, because there's just too many inconsistencies. The bits were fucking terrible, the ratchets were wonky as fuck, and like all of that was there. But the newer fakes I'm seeing are more consistent, they're more robust. But this is a little bit of spoilers. Everyone, when I was first getting these fakes, was telling me like there's no lead at all in them and stuff like that, which kind of like made it like more justifiable for me. I'm not too. I grew up with plastic, Jen. I'm fucking born in 1992. I don't care about a bit of lead in my fucking toys, you know. But
lead hasn't affected you before, so
yeah, well, if it has, it's too late for me now anyway. So, but it don't bother me. But I haven't done my lead because I've got a lead testing kit ready for when I do this video. But I've seen some other people upload videos, and they've done lead tests on them, and they found lead in some of theirs. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like on mine if I get the same results as them. But
it's very inconsistent. I remember, like,
I know.
Like you said, like I got told as well, like these, oh, they don't have lead in them. These they change. And nope.
The thing is with because like. Alright, so my stance was fakes. I don't know if I can have like a definitive this is like wrong, this is right kind of thing, because 100% I believe it's wrong that they're like stealing intellectual property from someone else and not crediting them, and they're not getting, like, that's undeniably wrong. And I'm not saying that this justifies it, but being a kid that wasn't like Flash for cash when I was like younger, and seeing kids now that I put on tournaments for and stuff like that, like just wanting to play fucking Beyblades and not being able to afford the official releases, but so excited when they get like a cheaper fake because it's like as close to the real thing as they get. I love that, you know. So
Right.
I think that's great, but at the same time, it is also sad because there's the risk with quality control. Like, you can't really say to me that these companies making these fakes care about the consumer. They're not making a cheaper product for like some altruistic reason, you know. They're just stealing designs, cutting corners, using cheaper materials and labor to essentially steal profits from another company. Okay, completely wrong. The kids getting fun out of it, they're not wrong. They're like an innocent party. They're just playing with their shit, you know. But you can't say they're completely safe because, yeah, one batch of them may be made with just zinc and aluminium, like alloys and stuff like that, might be completely safe. But if that company runs low on funds one month or low on a certain material, I guarantee you, to keep production up and keep costs low, they don't mind chucking a bit of lead in like whatever release down the line. So you're just gonna have inconsistencies all the time with these brands, you know. Like, whenever I post a break or like a faulty mold from like a Takaratomi or like a Hasbro thing or something like that, everyone's like outraged by it because they're like, oh my god, like that. And it's kind of rare, you know. Like, as much as we see like breaks and pictures of it on the internet, if you think about how many blades are actually being bought, played with, and released, it's very few in that percentage that we're seeing breaks and stuff like that with, and faulty things like that. But with the fakes, like, you'll see breaks of all the plastic parts quickly, the screws, the bits, especially when they're released, weren't connected together properly, so it made for really bad gameplay. Things just won't connect together right, and yeah, so they're just not as consistent parts. Like, still fun. Like, and if you're on a budget, do your fucking thing. I am not condemning you at all. Like, enjoy your fucking life. But yeah,
Right.
just
For me, I would suggest them not getting them, but like, if you have no choice, you just want to play with Beyblades, then
yeah, you know, like,
do that. Maybe depends on what brand. Like, I don't know. Like, they all could have like more lead than the other, or, you know.
that's the thing. You're never going to be 100% safe with whatever one you pick.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying, like, I would fucking love it if it was affordable for everyone. They could just get the TT or the Hasbro stuff, enjoy the game as safely as possible, and enjoy having the authentic things. But, like, even when I was a kid back, like, in, what would it have been, like, probably 2002, when I got, like, my first Beyblade. No, it would have been end of 2001. I got my first, like, Beyblade. Like, a starter, like, Drasil S on its like little sprue frame with the little short ripcord and launcher was £6 at Woolies, not $5.99, £6 on the fucking dot. And that was so much for me, like, then.
Big
like
up Woolies.
Yeah. Big up Woolies. Massive. But like, yeah, man, that was like a lot for me then. So it's not like something I'd be getting like every week or even every month or something, like a real like Beyblade pop. But you go down the market, even like, people forget how big a phenomenon was when Beyblade came out, and it was just everywhere immediately. So there were fakes flooding everywhere. Like, I could go to Woolies, pay £6 to get like a starter, like, or I could go down to even just the corner shop. I didn't even have to go to the market in town. I could go down to the corner shop and get some like fake Drigger S and Dranzer S fakes for like 50p with like an extra long, even though it's terrible quality plastic, you don't know that when you're a kid, extra long fucking mega super long dragon winder. No, you know, that kind of shit. And it was like, whoa, like, I can actually play this for that much, and I can get it with my own, like, the money you were given to go down and get some penny sweets and shit with, you know. I'm sounding old as fuck to the most of the chat right now.
Well, same with just, like, fake Pokemon cards, fake everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I was selling, like...
hotcakes. Were you about to say hotcakes, then?
Yeah. They were just going. I feel like it, from back then, it looked like they were selling more of the fake ones than they were of the real ones, because no one just...
Yeah, 100%.
Not a lot of people were aware.
I can agree with that. Marons, after
But,
Dragoon release. Oh, sorry. After Dragoon released, everyone's deck will be Wizard Rod, Phoenix Wing, and Dragoon. Yeah, probably, bro. Probably.
what about Tiger? Isn't Tiger decent?
Well, I was gonna say, Mad
We'll get to
Maxi's
it.
Vice Tiger comes today, so it's excited to put you on Phoenix. Yeah, that's what I want to try. I want to try Phoenix on you, for sure, for sure. Like after Vice Tiger gets here, my deck's gonna be like Wing, Rod, and Tiger, and then Dragoon's gonna get here. I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have to cut one of you, and I don't want to cut any of you.
Just make an A team and a B team or something.
I know, but I can only have one of them at a tournament, bro. It's painful.
Well, yeah, I know, but like,
you don't know. It's like those.
just test them out.
Bro, you don't know
You
how
don't
bad I am.
test.
It's like ever since I was young, whatever game I got into, Pokemon, Beyblade, Yu-Gi-Oh, or anything, I always had what I would think of as my most competitive deck ready to go at a moment's notice in case someone tried to shadow round me. Like, I dream of the day someone kicks down my front door and is like, I'm gonna Bay battle you for your honor or some shit like that, and it's just like, hey, I'm fucking ready to go, bro. I've been waiting for this day. Like, you're the unprepared one here. You're like, you came here. I was expecting you. Yeah.
You keep that thing strapped on you at all times.
I got my hip sling and my fingerless glove just ready to whip on. Got my baseball cap ready to turn around. Kind of sad because I did want to get a fake Drake.
Sometime.
A Pokemon tier list. And everyone will think I'm weird because Machamp will be at the top of mine. Everyone thinks it's weird that Machamp's my favorite Pokemon.
You know, those arts of like the kid sleeping with his Pokemon, but it's weird because it's a Machamp. That's you.
Yeah.
That'd be you in the Pokemon universe.
Mate, he's got 4 arms to hug you with. Like, it's the best Pokemon to sleep next to.
No, Machamp is solid. I wouldn't put him in my top 10, but
well, this is
alright.
This is the thing. Like, I love Machamp for multiple reasons. One, he's essentially a powerlifter wrestler in a world of Pokemon, so he does showboating moves, which is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. But also, from me as like a person who's obsessed with combat,
right,
4 arms is a puzzle you just can't fucking fix in a fight. Like, how do you beat someone who's got 4 fucking arms?
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
And then also, like, when it comes to mythology and stuff, I'm into like Asherahs and all that shit. Well, he could grapple the fuck out of you and strike you at the same time.
Yeah, but Thunderbolt and shit, attacks from afar. That's what I mean, like just long range attacks.
Yeah, but I can't use Thunderbolt, bro. I'm not a Pokemon. I have to fight Machamp. I'm fucked.
Right.
I mean, he's not that tall, but like.
Oh, you're okay. You're talking from you yourself.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Oh yeah, no, like a Pokemon fight. Like there are fucking like time controlling dragons and shit in Pokemon, bro. Like,
yeah.
like
they all
4 arms doesn't.
All the fighting trainers fighting.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, man. I'm a big Machamp fan. Big Machamp fan.
You'd be a fighting type gym leader or Elite Four.
Oh god, that's been my dream. Just run a fighting type gym my whole life. Like, that's all I want.
Back to Beyblade.
Yeah, Beyblade shit. Yeah, I forgot about that stuff. What came out? Chan. Alright, what came out next? This piece of shit came out. Honestly, not a single redeeming factor about this blade other than it's got a kind of cool aesthetic. I was excited about Gear Needle being useful as defense part. Nope. I was excited about 980 being like the best defensive ratchet. Nope. And Sphinx Cowl, I was like, fuck, we're finally getting a slightly off balance like defensive blade that looks like it's got really good contact, but it's a bit wider. It'll be like the version of Rhino Horn that we all wanted to get originally.
Could have been a better Rhino Horn, and then it became a Rhino Horn.
It just became Rhino Horn. Like, I know people put this higher up in their tier list because it's heavier, but I think that's like one of its worst attributes because it's so off balance and so bad, and it's also heavier, so it's got worse stamina. It's like, I mean, I see it pull out wins. Like, I know everyone says if you're going to use it, put it on a balance bit, but that's like code for, yeah, this blade shit. See what you can do with it. Like, you know, so yeah, I put it very low down. I'm sure people will disagree, but
Leave it in F.
you're fucking wrong. You made Lego Beyblade, nice. There's a few Lego
but
Beyblade
it's better
channels.
than Rhino.
Yeah, it's better than Rhino, just probably because it's like its big brother.
Or Rhino.
You know, like,
Right.
man, I like using Rhino.
These boys stick together.
It's just not good. It's just not good. Yeah, I agree. I saw Nazuma wrecking with Shark Edge on you. Oh yeah, I watched this video on that. I have a tournament tomorrow, so hoping it's good enough to use. It'll be interesting to see. Like, if you're using you, and you're tempted to use Shark on it, like, you definitely could do. But I mean, so what, you're gonna use like Wing, Rod, and Shark? Because that would make sense, I guess.
We're at the UX base already.
Yeah. Oh shit. Are we?
Oh, it was Drigger. Was Drigger before, or did he come out with the UX base?
I feel like he came. No, he came out with them, didn't he? I'll get them all out here. So we've got.
Buster, Hammer, and the Rod.
Yeah.
Literally S tier.
God, is that it
I'm
for?
feeling you're gonna put in S tier.
Oh, is that it for BX at this point? All right. So
Yeah.
Trigger. I'm not gonna go on about this too long because actually no, I am, because this is what you tune in for, fans. My fucking rants about my disappointments for Beyblade X. I knew it was never going to be heavier than Dranza. I knew it was never going to be heavier for Dranza, and I knew it was like, when we got the Dranza remake, I was so happy with it because I thought the design was fucking beautiful, the aesthetic was great. Couldn't expect more out of a remake. It just sucks that it wasn't as competitively viable because of the weight. But I was literally, before stream and everything, I was going on at Mim and Juice about how much I love the Tiger Defensor Blade from Plastic Gen Beyblade. Like, it is my favorite part in Beyblade, like outright, I'd say. I absolutely love it. I think the design is awesome. The aesthetics, like design, I mean functionally, is awesome. The aesthetic is wicked, and it's one of the first parts I had ever seen, and it's like immediately recognizable, like from Beyblade, you know. Iconic, some may say. And
it hurts in what they did to it.
Yeah, it's just not the same. Like, it looks like a fun remake, but it functionally is not similar at all. Like, it is a fringe upper attack blade at best for Beyblade X, whereas in original Plastic Gen, you could do anything you fucking wanted with it. It was one of the most versatile parts that they've ever made. It's like so good, so good. Boom, 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 boom.
I was hoping it just, like, maybe they learned their mistake with Dranza. They would have made it a little bit better.
Nah, bro, they've already, like,
it's around the same.
They fuck around with us, and they're showing us like the 3D printed early proxies of their crossover gen stuff. They've already fucking done the designs for like their first couple,
like,
you know.
I have a bad feeling they're gonna be bad.
Like, they're all like, all the S blades are going to be the exact same as Dranza and Trigger. They're going to be the same kind of weight. We just gotta wait until like later generations of remakes before they start becoming more like weighty and usable, I think. But I mean, at least just fight into Karatomi's corner here. At least they fucking look great. At least they've done the designs. Like, I keep Drigger and Dranza like unopened box here next to my little setup of stuff, next to my prize base and stuff here. Like, I think they look great, the remake boxes and stuff. Like, they really did capture the right aesthetic about it all. But I like, they're showpieces, but I would love to be able to play competitively with them. Like, I think that's
exactly
where everyone kind of stands with it.
Want to use them as well.
GG, gotta let it rip at all costs for us back in the day, especially when the real ones are out of stock and no online shopping. We didn't know about lead back then. Yeah, like, we literally had no knowledge of it being a thing, so no one cared. Yeah, you remember those with the large wheels, bit of lead, it's just a bit beast gimmick. FYI, for Juice, back in the day, Red Dot sold fake OG plastic gen. Is that an Aussie thing, is it, Red Dot?
Red Dot sold fake OG plastic gen for $5 each to save the...
Hitmonlee would kick Machamp's
It's out of
ass?
stock.
Forget. GG. I used to think you were a man of class.
Dude, Red Dot, I don't
Fly over
know what-
Machamp and you win easy. Yeah, I know, but I can't fly. I can't fly. Like, I'm talking about trying to beat him in an actual fucking little bit of Queensbury rules, a little bit of fisticuffs here, guys. Like, of course, if I could fucking fly, like reverse time or use like ghost abilities or like a Psy beam on the motherfucker, then yeah, I'd probably win. But I can't do that shit. Like, I fight other humans inside a cage. I don't like, you know.
For some reason, when we were talking about Machamp, I was speaking like battling it with a Pokemon. I totally missed the fact that you were punching it as well.
To be fair, like, most people probably don't think about having to fight a Pokemon themselves like I do. Most people are probably thinking about like if it's viable in the game to play against other Pokemon. I'm just there like, yeah, I could take that one.
Machamp in real life, you lose.
Yeah.
There's no getting out of that.
Nah.
He can just grab you, hold your arms down with two of his arms, and the other two are just slugging you in the head.
He just bear hug you whilst tearing your face apart if he wanted to, you know, and you're fucked. Like, you know, that's the brutality of it. Like, Machamp is a killing machine. Yeah.
GG with Red Dot. Like I remember fakes being around, but I
Withered
never
Rod.
remember who was releasing them.
Sorry, Gigi just said someone had a typo instead of Wizard Rod. It was a Withered Rod. That's amazing. I got one of those.
Wow. Come on now. This is
Rhino
nice.
has better attack than Cowl, plus Cowl has worse stamina. You know what? You're probably not wrong, but I'm probably never going to use a Sphinx Cowl again in my life if I don't have to, so I'll never know. I'll never know, bro.
I still need to get it. I don't have one yet. Well, the prize one at least.
No rush, bro. No rush.
I only want it for collection.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I got...
I have Trigger in front of me, but I haven't even taken it out of its packaging.
Nah, that's fair. That's fair. I've got a lot of triggers around me. I got like I literally have tiger defenses around me, multiple tiger defenses within arm's reach all the time. And, like,
Oh my god.
just in case, like, someone lets it rip from behind, I need to be able to intercept with my own launch. Yeah, crossover botches.
We'll have to get you
boxes.
Jawa's metal trigger then.
That'd be sick, man. That I'd say out of the metal remakes I've seen, like, that's the one I'd probably go for. I really like the look of that one. Muron's nobody uses Sphinx, yeah, for sure. Blade beats up a Pidgey for fun. Nah, man, it's called min-maxing. You train on the low-level stuff to raise your XP like quicker without taking damage. I don't want to have to go to the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, you gotta boost your EVs and IVs and
I
everything
know.
else.
When you see me finally actually continue on with my Pokemon Blue Nuzlocke, when I lose all my Pokemon, it's not game over. I'm going to self-insert and just start throwing down. Alright. UX Bays. UX Bays. Oh, no. We skipped Unicorn.
Oh, you're right.
Bro.
How could we do that?
When Unicorn came out, it was like the best Beyblade almost for like a 2-week period, because it was a fantastic counter to Phoenix, but not like overpowered against everything else. It was pretty even, but it wasn't like a guaranteed win against shit me, sorry. Can't stop burping. Wasn't a guaranteed win. I'd put it slightly behind Scythe when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a solid pick against Phoenix. Scythe, it was kind of 50-50. And then everything else, I think it kind of just... It sat either even.
How do people feel about Gear Point?
Gear Point. When it came out, I was very excited about it. And then I went off it quite quickly, but now I've kind of come back to it because it really does have its uses. Main use at the moment, I would say, is to use with Dran Buster, because you can get a lot of fast acceleration early on and then have that little bit of extra life after death. And Buster just pulls out ridiculous like KOs when it's like literally about to stop spinning. I'd say more so than other blades, more so than Shark Edge, and more so than like Phoenix. I think Buster probably pulls out those kind of like last second like KOs, and Gear Point works quite well for that, to be able to have that. Again, it's a balanced tip, so it's how do you use it? Do you use it to accelerate really fast early on, or do you try and flat launch to have a bit of extra stamina? Because I think that's the wrong way to use it. There's very, what I would call, if I'm being nice about it, spicy combo being used a lot at the moment, and that's Wizard Rod on Gear Point, and people are flat launching it to try and have a lot of stamina, but then be able to counter attack. And I'm like, if you're doing that, just put it on Hexa, because it's got better stamina and it's got better attack ability, and if it's on Rod, it's less likely to self KO. But it's one of those, it's kind of like a non-bow, like Rod on top of Gear Point for me. It's like, what are you trying to achieve here? If you tilt it to try and get speed early on, why are you using Rod to try and KO other people? Because it's not that great at it. It can get KOs because it's not like it's a completely smooth blade, but you know, it's like, goddamn, it's just not the one. It's just not the one. But on something like Buster, where it makes sense, and that's the thing. That's what I keep saying. Like, as the format went on, new pieces, like new blades released and stuff like that, other parts suddenly became better, and other parts suddenly became a lot shitter. You know. It's GG giving us shit in the chat, is he? You'll fall asleep listening to these guys do it, like ASMR. Just chill out. Yo, Ray, how's it going, man? I was talking about your stickers earlier. I still want to get those. How's it going with the Black Duranza ones?
Yeah, Ray slept 3 hours. GG, you'll probably fall asleep again listening to these guys.
Any way we can help, we're here for it. We're here for it. Save this. I'll put this video down instead of being a live. I'll save it as a podcast on the channel, so you can just. I swear that's all I do with podcasts now, is I just listen to them to fall asleep to.
That's fair.
I listen to like the same podcast multiple times throughout the week because I fall asleep like a little bit earlier, like later on in it each time I listen.
It must be boring as shit if they're putting you to sleep so quick.
No, it's because I don't start fucking trying to fall asleep until like 1 a.m. So it's like, it's like I've got no choice. It's actually, I don't know if you know them, just because they're Australian, like every Aussie knows every Aussie. Do you know The Weekly Planet or Mr. Sunday Movies?
Oh, yes, I love them.
Yeah, man. I've been listening to them like literally since they released like their first thing. Like big fan. Like I subscribe to their website, bigsandwich.com. Like as if they need a plug from me, but if you haven't checked them out, I recommend it. They're a lot of fun. They don't take anything too seriously, which is great.
No, they are brilliant. I love them. Love their stuff. They're so good.
Yeah, man.
Just like the Mason's brilliant. I forget the main host name.
James. James and Mesa. But mate, I don't know if you would see it, but on their subscription website, they do a series called "We've Got This Covered," where they basically review clickbait articles that half the time are just like AI generated. And it's just so funny, like listening to those two like just crack banter over that shit. Like, hey chat, should we rank some UX bays?
Yeah, now we can get to it.
All right, so
I completely forgot about Unicorn.
Yeah, Unicorn snuck in there. Buster, I don't understand, even objectively, without other things being in the format, why people put it in S rank. Like, I use Drown Buster. Like, I use it a lot. it's in my deck right now. Like, I've literally got my main deck behind me right here. I've taken Tyranno Beat out to put Buster back in. It's not a fucking S tier blade though. It's very good as a glass cannon attack type, but that's exactly what it is, a glass cannon, and a glass cannon cannot be S rank because it's not reliable enough, you know? That's insane to me. Like, and it comes in terms of consistency. When this comes out, inconsistency, it drops below a lot of these. I'd actually say, well, I think I need to do a bit of shuffling around now. I think I should chuck all of the UX stuff in there, and then we should discuss afterwards where I place things, because otherwise I'm gonna be here chatting at you for a while and not really ranking stuff properly. And you go to the top here. Now
We've already had 2 side conversations where
yeah, all right. I think
for a little bit.
I think this is where D tier comes into play, and
Oh shit.
a lot of stuff gets shuffled down a little bit.
Oh, so you really are just having one in the S tier. I was expecting they're both going to be in S tier.
Fuck that. No chance, mate. S tier is S tier for a reason. Now, everyone loves it still. Everyone uses it for their attack combos. I think you're fucking insane for still using Shark Edge at the moment, not gonna lie. Much better choice in my opinion. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's good in the current meta compared to other stuff. Like, not nearly as reliable. Sword I still think's great. Chain has come down. I'd say usefulness at the moment, probably. Now that's the thing. I like Dagger. I know other people don't so much, but I like Dagger, and I go up against Nanashi using Dagger too much to say that it's not that good, you know. Feather probably becomes worse now, because it's just not gonna be able to like get the burst on bays like it did before. There's just better stuff for that. Rod, all right, so let's work this down systematically, starting from the top. Rod is S tier. Rod 960 ball is the most reliable combo in the format still, has been for a couple months now, even with new releases coming out after this. And it doesn't matter what bit you put it on, Rod immediately makes that bit better than it should perform. Karatomi have really done a bit of a wild one releasing this blade. I don't begrudge them for it. It's just very strong, very reliable. The stamina on it is fantastic. It's so well balanced. You can hit it really hard. It looks like you've got it wobbled, and then it just corrects itself so well and just keeps on going. Like, honestly, like, I think I'm probably one of the worst people at actually winning stamina like mirror matches with this blade, but like, I'm still, there's no bad matchup for Rod 960 ball at the moment. Like, there are no bad matchups for it. There are ones you have to be more careful of, ones that are higher risk, but there's no bad matchups. Like, 100% sits in S rank for me. And that kicks Wing down, because Wing has blades that it doesn't match up well against, like Unicorn, like Dran Sword. Dran Sword's a really good matchup against Phoenix Wing in my opinion, and it can't bully Cobalt Drake around as easily. It's pretty good against everything else. It's very good against everything else. Like, Dran Buster isn't that great against Phoenix Wing in my opinion. Hell Scythe isn't, but it's still great against everything else. Scythe does get a bit worse again now, because like, there's been a little bit of a creep up in weight of newer blades, but at the same time it's still really good. It just, like, because people only think of it as like a stamina blade now, it just doesn't get used as much. But yeah, I think this is where it sits for me. Buster, again, I just said I love Buster. It is a glass cannon though, Like, if I'm honest, it's kind of generous putting it in A because it does lose a lot. But what makes it great is that a lot of the time, even though it makes big recoil hits, it tends to only lose by spin finish. But if it wins, it typically wins by 2 or 3 points. So that's what keeps it in the A tier for me. Like, I should probably put it at the top of B tier. It's hard to justify like something that can only be really used as an attack type being an A tier blade. Like, if you look at this here, like a bunch of these higher up blades are technically balanced types. I know Phoenix came on like an attack bit and is technically an attack blade. I think it's a really good balance blade, and I think that's why it was so good when everyone started putting it on balanced bits like point or taper and stuff. And just look at the color; it's red. Red means balance type, so that's science for you. But yeah, and then with Hammer, I really like Hammer. I took Hammer to a G3 tournament as soon as it was legal to play here, and I won that tournament. I put it on 360 low flat and like KO'd the shit out of tons of stuff. It's a lot of fun. The G1 winner had Hell's Hammer 360 Hammer. Hexa, in his deck, and he won with that. It's undeniable that it is a useful blade, but again, it's one of those ones I'd say requires a little bit of strategy if you're planning to like win with it and compete with it. Hell's Hammer Copium. It's good, guys. Trust. Shark Edge won my first tournament. Nice. Yeah, man.
Said, where would Mythical Tripio be if it got released?
Ooh, very interesting. Now, is that the Tripio we were seeing where it was shrunk down to try and make it work more in the X Stadium? Because or is it like if they remade it like kind of like 1-for-1, like more like the first prototype we saw? Because the first prototype we saw, as I've done, because I know I've fucked around with it and it's not really like scientific testing, but so I printed off these 3D blade bases that have like extreme gears on them that you can use for plastic gen blades, and I've had like the Tripio blade in the X Stadium going round, and I do have to say the height of the X blades will help it massively, because otherwise it will scrape, because even though it's kind of like that shallower shape, the X Stadium is surprisingly deep for previous gen Beyblades. So the blade would scrape massively if they just remade it normally and it wasn't that tall. But with its height, we're kind of seeing what happens in this gen with parts like that, I think, kind of through disc ball. Like, you use a disc ball combo against me, I'm gonna burst it. Like 99% of the time I'm gonna burst it. Like, don't use disc ball competitively. But I think that would be a similar issue with Tripio in this generation, is that things would get underneath it too much and just have pure access to the ratchet. Like, I think it would be very hard for that blade being that wide to keep everything from getting underneath it, and if it did, it would get knocked down and cause a lot of scrape. Now, if we're talking about the remodeled Tripio, which I think they definitely would have gone with, a lot shorter, I don't think it would have been able to hit the X-rail reliably, but that's not really what you want from that blade. You want stamina. I think it could have been great, but it's where is the weight being balanced. If it's all the way on the outside, then it would be like Wizard Rod is now, but on steroids, because it would be wider circumference and probably have to be heavier, like, because of that. So it would probably correct itself really well if you put that on ball, because they're probably going to release it on needle or something like that to look like the original. Like, I imagine they were going to be releasing like Tripio 380 like needle was like the combo I assume they would probably put it out on. and like I think you're not going to want to extreme dash with it. You're going to want to stay in the middle, but you put that blade on ball and on like a 60 ratchet, then yeah, I think it becomes like
so
Wizard
fun.
Rod. Yeah, I think it becomes like Wizard Rod on steroids then.
I wish they gave us a replacement at least, but since it won a whole voting system thing. So like,
Bro, they
then
made
you
us
can't
feel
bring
like
it
our
twice.
opinion mattered for like a good couple of months on that one, didn't they?
Exactly. They could have
Like-
given us a whatever came second or something.
They made us feel involved, even if only for a second. Alright. Let's get out the remaining base. So it's Shinobi. There's gonna be a Dragoon soon. I'm pretty sure I saw that in here somewhere. No. Was there anything before Shinobi after? I can't.
Yeah, you didn't say where you drank it. Where like after all that.
What, where I drank
the
what?
little one, the
Oh, Tropio.
Tropio.
Yeah, just
B,
talking shit about it.
Soul B, C.
No, I mean, if it's better than, like, it could potentially be better than Wizard Rod if, like, the weight's, like, wider distribution. Like, it should have better balance. So it might replace Rod as, like, the S tier, because if Rod can't beat it in a stamina battle, then Tropio immediately takes its place at S tier. And if it's too big, it's not going to get extreme finished, it's not going to get over finished in the pockets, it's going to be too big to fit in them. So it's essentially just going to be watching it until you can either burst it or it gets the spin finish every round. It's kind of like how I think it would play out. So yeah, if they made it well and all the weight was on the outside of the blade, like distributed like that, evenly distributed, I think it would be the one. Like that would
Damn,
probably.
we were so close to greatness.
I know.
Their reasoning for not doing it is just
The reason for not doing it is giving us a remake that everyone would play competitively. It's like, nope, can't be allowed.
no.
Hammer deserves B
Years will
plus.
get caught,
Yeah, Hammer deserved high B. I mean, it is high B. It's the second in B, isn't it? Right now, that's high B. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say it's got better stamina than Shark, but Shark definitely has more like punching power.
I'm pleased to still see Night Shields up there.
Fuck yeah, man. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
like, if it was Night Shield on its own in a vacuum is B. Night Shield in my hands, S tier. S tier, immediately. Oh, Tyranno, of course, Tyranno. Goddamn, forgot about that.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, we'll do a Tyranno
Shinobi.
next. Tyranno and Shinobi. So, Tyranno beat, like, there's still, I think, because we're still, like, in the, like, hardly anyone's got their hands on Vice Tiger yet, and everyone's newest bay is pretty much Tyranno beat. No one gives a flying fuck about Shinobi. But Tyranno beat was, like, meant to be the one. I was so excited about getting my hands on beat because I was like, okay, I want to replace Dram Buster from my deck because it's not reliable enough. You know, I get good wins with it, and it's my number one pick at the moment against Rod. But I want something else that's a bit more reliable, a bit easier to control the launches with. And I wanted Tyranno beat to be that. And it seemed like that was the general consensus. Everyone I spoke to when it came out felt like that. Everyone liked it on taper, on point, on rush, and on low flat. And those all seemed like great options for it. And I gotta say, like, when I was first testing it, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. But then the kind of wow factor of how hard it could punch kind of like drifted off from me. And I kind of started to see it as quite an inconsistent blade of its own. Like, you would think it'd be more consistent than Buster because it's like essentially it's a two-winged blade, which normally are great for like attack types. Like, it's the upgrade to Shark that we wanted, kind of idea is what we were thinking with Tyranno beat here. And in a lot of ways it is that. It's got fantastic down smash ability, got fantastic upper, and it's got just full-on great smash. And it's got pretty good stamina for a blade like this, but where it lets me down a little bit is its control in the stadium. It's not that reliable to launch. So And sometimes because of the kind of it's not round, it's like an off-weighted blade, but it's not as aggressive a point as, like, say, Drown Buster, for example, which is a very aggressive point. A lot of the big hits from it don't just send stuff towards the pockets, and I think it matches up decently against Phoenix, beating the stamina out of it, but I don't think its contact points are aggressive enough to be consistent enough against Rod for it to still be in my deck, and that's why I've taken it out. I took it to 2 tournaments. I took it to the G1 and I took it to a G3 to really give it a good go at testing it. And like you saw, like in the last few weeks, I've done a bunch of streams testing it as well. And yeah, I've decided to take it out of my deck now because I don't think it's that consistent to launch. Like, you could put it on Rush and just launch it as hard as you fucking want to in the middle of the stadium and hope for the best. But if you're going to do that, why not just do that with Phoenix instead, which is already proven to be better on Rush. I probably would put Tyranno Beat on Taper again if I was going to use it in a deck, but like, my favorite thing about Taper is the control you get from its launches, and the moment you put Tyranno Beat on it, you don't have that same level of control, in my opinion. So yeah, I know it's a lot of people's favorite at the moment, and I do really like it. I like battling with it because it is so punchy. But I think for me now, I'm probably going to put it either bottom of A or top of B. I think top of B will get the most anger out of chat, so I'll put it there for the moment.
Yeah, a lot of people use it over here in the Australian tournaments.
Yeah, and it makes it makes sense to.
60 point.
Yeah.
It's big combo at the moment.
Yeah, point is another, like, I mean, and I already said point's a great one for it, but point is what the Chiang Mai G2 champ was using it on, and it was so good. But I personally, I don't like using point too much because I don't think you can do as many different, like, launches and stuff with it. But it's a great bit. And Tyranno Beat makes sense as a really strong blade. It's one of the heavier ones at the moment. It has good contact points. It's got decent stamina for an attack bait, but it's almost like that thing of, for me now, with attack types, because Rod is such a nightmare to deal with, it's not enough of a glass cannon for it to be reliable enough to think, okay, I'm going to get the KO on Rod on this consistently. Like, I've KO'd Rod with it a ton of times. I think I've got like 1 or 2 shorts. I don't remember how many I've uploaded from battles I did at the G1. But like the one I did with that dude cosplaying as Multi, like, I used Tyranno Beat in that, and I think I like overfinished Wizard Rod in that using its down smash, you know, when it had leveled out a little bit. So it can do it 100%. But yeah, not as consistent in the stadium as I hoped it would be, and as I initially thought it was with my first load of testing. Oh bloody hell, Gibbo and my wife are in the chat at the moment, taking the piss. That's pretty funny. Get on, Gibbo, how you doing, mate? How's it going? Alright. And the wife is in chat if anyone wants to say hello to the old butt flaps in there. I heard that Tyranno on Orb here is a menace. Not sure though, I haven't personally seen it. So, like, Orb is one of those bits that's fantastic with, like, typically more attack kind of blades, because, like, Ball is good with them as well, but, like, say, like, Phoenix on Orb is a nightmare to deal with. You get so much control over its launch, and it's got so much stamina, but it's just the burst factor. And for me, I wouldn't put Tyranno Beat on Orb just because of the likelihood to self burst from like such high like recoil impacts. But it's probably not so heavy that you got like, like Cobalt Drake, I would never put that anymore on like a low resistance bit because I just think it's gonna self like burst too easily. Like even on attack bits, it like self burst, you know. So I wouldn't put Drake on there. Maybe Tyranno Beat, maybe, but yeah, not sure. Gibbs is hungover and feeling mega ass today. Come on, England, score some fucking goals. Is there football going on? Is there foosball, soccer ball going on somewhere in the world that I don't know about? Not that I would do. But alongside trying to beat, before I lose too many subscribers for talking shit about it, Shinobi Shadow. Does that go below Rhino? Juice, what are your thoughts on Shinobi?
We can skip it. Wait, no, that's the last one, isn't it? Pretty much.
Well, I haven't had hands on with the next 3 releases, but
Oh,
I've known about them for a hot minute, so I might rank them.
all that Shinobi has for it is design. It looks cool. It's just super light. It just can't hold up.
Yeah.
It's just design. All it has is design. Even its parts are, it's fucking. They are delusional for what they gave it. 180 makes no sense. Metal Needle shouldn't exist.
You know what?
It's just, I feel like it's just a bay they threw in to release those parts, and that's it. It doesn't even make sense for the trainer, Pokemon, the blader that uses it.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's just a throw-in bay.
Yeah, I think like they had to get some kind of like ninja aesthetic bay in at some point. So they just gave us this kind of like, is how it feels.
Well, yeah, we had Knife Shinobi coming out for Hasbro, and then they announced this thing. It could have been so much better. I mean, they're relatively around the same for Knife Shinobi and Shadow Shinobi, or Shinobi Shadow.
It's one of those weird bays where like the mechanic they've gone for, so I might be wrong, but if I remember right, the mechanic's meant to be that it's so light or whatever, it dodges incoming attacks, and the off balance like larger ratchet helps with that kind of like dodging, and Metal Needle is to stop it from getting KO'd. Now that's basically like saying, okay, we're going to make a blade that's really easy to knock around. The ratchet we're going to release with it is going to be off balance, so it's going to be very niche use, and the bit, even though it was meant to stick in the stadium and be a metal bit, is the most slidey of all of the defensive bits we've got at the moment. Like, you hit the thing and it slides across the stadium, so it's one of those weird ones where like it does the gimmick that it was made to do, but that gimmick is such a bad idea. You've literally made the best case of, you've accurately made a bad design, you know, like you've achieved what you set out for, but like should you have set out to do that in the first place, I think is the main issue with Shinobi Shadow.
It was meant to parry, but it just doesn't.
No, and there was a brief moment when I went to the G1 and I was doing testing battles, because once you submit your deck, it's a lock-in, so you can't like play with those parts anymore. So a lot of people, what they had left over was like the Shinobi Shadow boosters they had bought to be able to enter the tournament, so they were just battling with them. So I was seeing Shinobi win more games than like probably anywhere else like that it ever has. For a moment I was like, oh, I wonder if there's something to this. And when I was doing that testing the other day with Nanashi, because I was like, yeah, we'll give it a chance. Nah, it's just not good. Like, it's not even like heavy enough that you could put it on like low flat or gear flat or something and just try and like rip as hard as you can and hit KOs. It's just not
Could have
there.
been another rod, or like just under it.
If they gave this weight, because the blade design, the design is fantastic. Like,
exactly.
You can't like, when I saw it, I was like, okay, it's not going to be an like straight up upper attack, but it's got good smash. It's got like these slopes and stuff. It's got uses here. It can be used defensively. It could be used for attack. It'll probably have decent stamina because it's a UX bay and all the weights on the outside with the metal. And it's just fucking shit. Right, absolute letdown of a bay. But Should we do some hypothetical ranking for Vice Tiger? From what I've seen of it, it still looks like, I don't know if it's just recency bias. It looks averagely okay.
Right. I haven't seen much for it.
It looks like it's got good, like, I mean, you can tell by the design straight away, like, if it catches a ratchet, like, it's going to have good contact, so like, it should have the ability to burst, like, stuff. And
so
like
that on low flat,
maybe. But so what I'm hoping is, once I get Vice Tiger, I'm impressed with the parts enough that I can take Taper off of Phoenix and have Phoenix 360 Unite, Wizard Rod 960.
I've seen that its weight's okay.
Yeah, you know,
But,
so
like, I don't know. We don't know what the average is yet. I don't.
it's been between around 34 to 35 from what I've seen so far
Okay.
for
The
Vice.
ones that I've seen, like, I think it was the one that you showed. Maybe.
Yeah, I think the one I
What
shared,
was that one? Was that 34, 35?
34 and a half, I think that one was. So like the higher end I've seen is like just over 35, and like the lower end I've seen is just over 34. So it seems to be pretty safely in that range. So it's going to be useful. It's going to be kind of like around like the weight of like your hammers and your shark edges and your daggers. Like, I think it's probably most comparable to a dagger at the moment as a blade and the blade design. But the recoil looks much more aggressive on Vice Tiger than dagger does. It's like kind of like dagger, but if it had like a couple little like wedges like chunked out of it. Good luck, have fun, son. He's tested it higher than Wizard Arrow for sure. I mean, I'd hope so. I think it would definitely be higher than Wizard Arrow. Vice Tiger. Vice Tiger is a low A, has good parts, plus the blade is a Phoenix counter. You think the blade is a Phoenix counter? That'll be interesting to find out.
Oh wait, you still have Arrow in B. I forgot about
That I mean, I could probably put it at the top of C by this point, but I'm not gonna lie, I still see it at tournaments because people like to use rod on ball, and then they'll either use scythe or arrow on orb as a backup stamina type. Because again, I know I did this rant earlier. Stamina is the most reliable way to win a Beyblade match. You know, like, so everyone's always looking for. Like, I think most decks at the moment.
Burst.
Yeah, that's the thing. But that's the reason. Like, I think because stamina types are so strong at the moment, most decks I see are 2 stamina types and an attack type, or 2 attack types and a stamina type. You know.
Yeah.
And attack type is a loose phrase because it's typically like either a full-on attack type or like a balance type that's meant to be a bit more aggressive. You're meant to try and get the KOs on it.
Occasional 3 attacks.
Occasionally you get 3 attacks, yeah.
I've seen the Buster, the Phoenix, and the Tyranno here.
Yeah, nice. That's fun. But like, I bet you Phoenix in that little deck set's probably on Orb or something though, I imagine.
No, some of them maybe, but the ones I've seen are Rush.
Okay, oh yeah.
And then Buster is on low flat.
Yeah. What they put in Tyranno on Taper or Point? Point, you said.
No, it was Point.
Yeah.
Yeah. 960 Point, 560 Rush, and then 160 low flat.
Bro, like, if someone rocks up with their rod on ball and Phoenix on orb, like, they just fucking sweep that tournament. They done. Like, send your boys using those decks.
They're in shambles. They'll have no idea.
What the fuck? He's spinning for longer than 45 seconds. Jesus,
With
Vice.
What I've seen for Vice Tiger, Tiger, the only thing I've seen is the promo video that they do every month, you know, when the new base draw.
Yeah.
That's all I've seen, but they're made to look good anyway. But like,
What do you mean? They're authentic. 100% authentic. You think the Karatomi lied to us?
That's the only thing I've seen. No, never. They would never. They said we were getting Tripier. I still think they
I mean, they came through with the Battle Royale Stadium. Like everyone was
Yeah.
fucking throwing their toys out the pram, like fucking metal quit bay tubing because of it. Like,
Right.
and they've pulled through with it, you know. So
They seen him quit, so they're like, shit, we gotta get him back.
I think that's why. I think that's why he's like he was like our monk on fire, you know. Like his protest is what got us the Battle Royale stadium.
Everyone thank metal.
Yeah, I do every day, every day.
I forgot about that 3-player stadium for the longest time. When I seen it, like when it wasn't shown that it was coming back, I was like, oh shit, wow, that's cool. And then I continued on with my day because what would be the point? I'm one person. I do not have anyone to play with. So,
You gotta teach your cats to let it rip, bro.
oh my god. It'd be interesting seeing 2v2 in that stadium since it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be using.
2v2 is in the current one just doesn't really work.
Nah, I'm gonna be giving me and Nanashi each a link launcher to fire 2 Beyblades at a time against each other on that one.
Hell yeah.
Like that's gonna be fun.
Tag teams.
Hell yeah.
Tag team battles. The Trigger and Drons are against something of equal level.
That's what I might have to do before the next Pokemon Beyblade thing I do, the gym battles. I might have to message everyone and ask for like a doubles deck and just do it all in the Battle Royale stadium, like doubles battles or something like that. Tag team, that could be cool.
That'd be cool. Like Trigger and Drons versus everyone.
Yeah.
Because they're all the other team are probably clinging against each other. They'll knock each other out hopefully, so then they win.
Oh, actually no. I'm not gonna spoil it now on chat. I've just thought of a perfect mechanic for using the Battle Royale stadium in those. Yep. No, I've locked in. Mental note for later. Beep. Right, I've got it. I'll fucking. Oh yeah. I'm a genius. I'll tell you off stream.
Another thing for Vice Tiger, it just looks immaculate.
Ah, so cool, isn't it? So I want this blade to be the best blade because it just looks so good. I mean, we're all little like crazy cat ladies, but like it just looks dope. Like we're talking like White Ranger vibes, we're talking Zoids vibes, you know, like Liga Zero shit. It's not even
the Bakuten, like, it's not even that.
The throwback and the
even
reference, no.
That.
It's just sick.
Yeah,
it's just
not even
sick.
The reference, it's just so cool.
Jesus is saying, like, because of the slope blades and stuff, the design gives it pretty interesting interactions, especially with Phoenix Wing. He's thinking mid to low A for now. Ask Wizard Balls 2.0 got S tier. Of course it did. It's the only S tier blade. Still Samurai have a chance against Phoenix. Ash Ketchum, you're coming out with the most random hot takes in this chat. Not gonna lie, bro. Like, I would absolutely love to see everything you're saying. Absolutely.
I'm a Steel Samurai fan, but it does not compete.
Steel Samurai's Leon Claw, right?
Yeah, it's the variant of that, the mold.
Yeah,
variant.
sorry, Ash Ketchum, you're wrong. Hippo Tippo, Sam has the same chance against Phoenix Wing as Leon Claw. Okay, yeah, so just what I said, which is not great. It can win, but yeah. I mean, GG dramatization may not have happened. I'll play Beyblade with you, Juice. Yeah, guys, you guys need to do a road trip. How far is GG from you?
Am I lost? What's Sam?
Samurai, motherfucker.
Oh my god, right, yeah, makes sense. Who the fuck is Sam? That's like with the... What did you say the other day? Dean. Instead of Dron.
Oh, yeah.
You said Dean.
Bro, my autocorrect. Like, you can tell when I'm on my phone. You can tell when I'm on my phone in chat because the autocorrect is insane.
That had me crying.
God.
I thought that was the funniest thing. Just the poor innocent Dean.
God damn.
Cobalt Drake sent at him.
Oh man, I've gone through my sody pops. Alright, so Vice Tiger.
You said you'll play.
They're saying mid to low A at the moment. I can see it being more consistent. Actually, like, let's deduce this, even though I haven't played. Let's deduce this. even though I haven't played with it yet.
God.
We can probably, just from the fact it's a balanced type blade with all this shit on it, probably say that it's pretty comparable with where Unicorn Sting is, I'd say. Like, it's probably going to be around Unicorn Sting. But have I got this right here? Because if we're talking about reliability, like, do you follow or subscribe to Versus NDev?
No, I don't know. Not
So
sure who they are.
they're a Filipino blader, their channel. Like, definitely chat if you don't subscribe to them or haven't checked them out. Go check them out. Out of any kind of like Baytuber I've seen, they are 100% the most autistic with tracking stats. Like, it's amazing. They track everything across tournaments all over the place. Dude must be watching so many battles and taking notes. He's an absolute legend for doing the legwork for this, because I could never be fucked with doing all that. Like, no chance. Like, I like to watch battles, and again, a little bit of a plug here. If you are a member on the channel, we have a special Discord channel for you to submit any footage that you have of your own tournaments, or any footage you want reviewed and critiqued by myself. I upload commentaries over my own tournament performances to the members only page at the moment, but I want to be critiquing your own battles and stuff like that. Something I'm very excited to do.
I'm not critiquing on my stream streams. As soon as you show up, I start to sweat.
I don't even say anything though, bro. It's just the.
I can feel it.
You can feel my disapproving glare through like the phone screen.
You're looking at your phone. It's like, well, there goes
fuck.
once again.
You know, I used to like this juice guy, but then I saw him launch.
Yeah, like, oh god.
But
child can launch better than this.
I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty bad launches from children at tournaments. they launch like I knew I launched when I was a kid. So wild, just like all of your effort and energy just been spent into the wrong way of doing it. Like from 10 foot above the stadium, trying to throw your Beyblade in there as fast as possible. Like, absolutely wild, but so much fun. Like, I don't want to correct them, but. Actually, talking about kids and launching, so for the G2 we had here, I sponsored a kid a deck to use so we could enter. So I made him like a pretty competitive meta deck. And from only having a little bit of tournament experience using fakes at the little local tournaments I was running for the kids, he managed to come second.
Oh.
And the kid who won, so like... The kid that I sponsored was like about 7-8 years old, but like a small Thai 7-8 years old. And the kid he went up against in the finals who won was like only 2 days young enough that he was still allowed to enter the junior tournament. He's like nearly 13. No, he is 13, but he's just like the cut off for the date where it won't allow you to like play in the kids anymore. But bro, he's like some kind of like table tennis prodigy. Not to say that translates immediately to Beyblade, but oh my god, he was like 3 foot taller than my kid, and his like limbs were so much longer. It's like he's just got way more mechanical strength than our kid. Is like, no wonder he's gonna win. But my kid managed to get some points against him at least. You know, he was pretty stoked about that. I was happy about that. That's the legend that is Kun Pech. If he'll be coming up in an episode of Solo Beyblading in the near future. If you wanna.
Let's go.
Maruns, Tiger is low A for you. All Team Pendragon Bays have exposed plastic blade. Is that a good thing? You know, it's not that I dislike it or think it's necessarily a good thing, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, it's bad in the sense that you're going to get damage on your blade because plastic's exposed. It's going to make contact with the metal of other Beyblades. But it's only bad if the weight distribution of the metal parts like off balance your Bay in like a negative way. So like Hell's Hammer, that's got a bunch of exposed plastic. I don't think that's a negative thing because where all the metal points like contact with your opponent, it's a great design. It's a really good design for that. Vice Tiger, again, I can't really comment because I haven't played with it yet. And again, Cobalt Dragoon, which isn't out yet. The exposed plastic, will that be much of a factor? I mean, maybe against another left spin bay. But can I be so bold? I'm going to make a little prediction here. Probably wrong. But just on the fact that it's going to be left spin, I think Cobalt Dragoon might go to the top and be the counter to Arrow, because it'll be the first bay that we can have that can utilize spin equalization against it.
It's okay, guys. He meant Rod.
Oh, what did I say?
You said Arrow.
Arrow
at the top.
Yeah, I meant Arrow. Put Arrow back in Esther. But yeah, I think I'm probably wrong. Rod might just be that good that it's just at the top forever now. But yeah, I think the dawn of left spin is going to be quite a big factor. With Black Shell, it's a Drasil remake, so yeah, actually no, that goes to the top of S tier.
Automatically.
No, I mean,
Gets its own tier.
really, Turtle depends on the weight, because the design itself is quite tame, in the sense that it's not got big protrusions, but it's got that typical kind of like defense blade thing of like almost round, but it's got a little bit of stuff.
Big recoil.
It really depends on the weight. If it's heavy, it's going to be probably at the top of B tier. If it's light, it's probably going to be the bottom of C tier.
We need another. It needs to be better than the other ones.
It does, but
it has to be on Night Shield level.
my other worry is that they've put it on what could possibly be a bit of a throwaway character, Carmen Z. Like, because I think we're all pretty confident that it's just Pakun in that mask, the Bay Tuber kid.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's the Bay Tuber kid in that mask. Like, it looks like everything but the mask looks like his outfit and his design, and he wasn't part of a team, and he was like meant to be a better blader than everyone gives him credit for, but he was on level 1 and he beat Bird, so like I think Pendragon maybe gave him a chance to come in. Like, they've got to have some kind of connection to Persona already.
Everyone beats Bird.
Yeah.
By that logic, they'd be inviting everyone to join their Pendragon team.
I know. Like, for a long time, I was thinking it might be Takumi that joins them, just because it made sense, because I knew they were going to be getting a defense bay, and he had history with Bird. Like,
that would have been nice. I would have liked him to be on that team.
Like, and he was kind of like not a free agent, but like they were giving him a lot of time in the anime and stuff like that, and his manager was trying to find new like battles and stuff for him, so I thought that might be the case. But
that would have been cool, but giving him the whole new bay kind of throws away the development he had in the episodes that focused on him, because he threw away Phoenix Feather to use his off-color.
Yeah, that's true. Just to stick with yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. I did not think about that.
Like, that'd just be assassination at that point. Like, it's just regressed.
Hippo Tippo, 36 plus grounds for Black Shell, please. If it's anything lower than 34, it's over. I don't know, 34... Nah, you're right. 34 for a defense bay isn't great. But, I mean, if it is 34, at least you can put it on low flat and just smash things around the stadium, you know? Alright.
I look at Black Shell when, like earlier you said, like, when Sphinx Cow dropped, you wanted to be what Rhino Horn should have been, but it wasn't. Yeah. So that's the same thing for them too. We wanted to be what they should have been.
Yeah.
It needs to be up there.
I know.
It has Dot. So
yeah, Dot. Oh, I think I was calling it Dimple the other day, just because I was. I've been watching Mob Psycho again, not too long ago.
Oh, so good.
But yeah, Dot looks like it could be great, but probably won't be.
Are you familiar with the Metal Fight version of
Yes,
that?
yeah, that's very
I'm
good.
not. I've. Oh, okay, it is.
Oh, okay. Disclaimer: you probably already know if you follow my channel even a little bit. I know fuck all really about MFB in the grand scheme of things, but I at least own that part. I don't know what it's called, like something ball variation or whatever. I think it's really good. I think it's great. And the concept of the design makes sense. But where I think in practice with X, where it won't work out, is partly because of the speed of the bays, so it'll wear down very quickly, those like dots on it. And I think you'll either end up with like one or two things. You'll end up with a bit where the dots on it have like snapped off from like catching with the extreme line and stuff like that, or certain ones will be flattened down so much when it hits the stadium at certain points it'll behave like an off balance flat tip, and
Yeah, some will be
others
flat,
it'll
some
be,
won't be.
you know, so a fresh dot bit might be amazing, but it might be one of those things where it's surprisingly actually really good once it's like awakened, you know, and worn down a bit. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. Jog ball?
I think was that it? What an odd name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if it's called jog ball, that's wild.
I think it might be Jog, because in my head I was thinking Gog.
Stone Mont Blanc will have an evolution new bay with all that development watch. That'd be cool. I'd be up for seeing an actual Stone Mont Blanc release. But more than anything, I want Diamond Nuts still. Where the hell is my Diamond Nuts bay to Karatomi?
Joe.
Yeah, get Diamond Nuts, I'd be like, Crazy Diamondo!
That's brilliant.
But yeah, I think by the time we get to Dragoon, this may be where it is. Fight me if you think I'm wrong. But is there anything looking at my rankings here that you would immediately switch around, Juice?
No, I think it's very solid hearing you talk about each one individually for the past 2 hours.
How long has it been?
A lot of good points.
I hadn't even looked at my OBS.
Yeah,
Like, well,
2 hours.
No, yeah, 2.5 nearly. Goddamn. Yeah, I chat some shit. There's only like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
If I did this, I would only do it based on looks alone.
27.
So like I'd have switch around.
Bro,
but
there's only 27 releases. 3 of them aren't even out yet, and I've taken 2.5 hours to talk about them. Fucking hell. I chat some shit.
Hey man, I think you're peaking at like 25 for a second.
I appreciate it, chat. Absolutely. It's only because
I think it was when you were talking shit about one of them.
probably. It's only because I've got featuring Mim and Juice in the title. That's how you draw in. That's the clickbait.
I've
That's the
added
clickbait.
nothing to this.
You've added everything. This is good. We need to do a weekly podcast where we just talk shit about Beyblade parts. Blade Dragons, you're going down. Blade Dragons,
Exactly.
you're dead. Dead meat.
We can get we can get Hobby in here.
Got
Talk
you.
shit too.
Yeah, man.
GG.
Talk shit. We should do like some like fucking crazy cat lady Beyblader podcast. That's the shit.
GG can talk shit about the bays that he doesn't have yet.
GG filled with the most opinions on stuff he hasn't played with yet. Diamond Nuts with the Dora Barrage. Oh, Morons, I think he's got an actual question. Do you think the unpainted Phoenix will have the same weight as the painted one, or lighter, or maybe heavier? Very good question. Very good question, because you would think that paint means heavier. But there's something very, very important about this recolor, and that is that it's using blue plastic. And out of all of my X-Bays that I weigh, typically the blue plastic ones are the heavier variations of stuff. So I'm hoping that if it's not lighter, it'll either be the same or heavier. I don't think it'll be lighter. Like, I'm hoping the blue plastic trend continues for me. And
does it matter for the clear versions compared to the full, like, hard bases?
Yeah,
Does
so
that matter at all?
for me so far, it seemed like the darker the blue, the heavier the bay.
And it's a dark fucking blue.
Yeah, so that's also why I'm not as nervous at the moment, at least, about the exposed plastic on Cobalt Dragoon. Plus, have you seen the real pictures of Cobalt Dragoon and stuff like that they were showing off?
Mm-hmm.
Like and like the videos and stuff of it. It looks like the metal's quite thick, and the way it spreads out across the blade is quite a
Yeah.
lot. Quite a lot. So it might be light, like it might all be hollow under there. It might be a thin layer, but I don't think it will be. And we all know typically they give the attack types the heavier blades. Like Phoenix Wing was heavy as fuck, and that's not even the boss monster for this season. Cobalt Dragoon is. So I would be surprised if it's not on the heavier side. Like, will it be heavier than Phoenix on average? Maybe not. Should it be? Probably not. But I mean, if history repeats itself, then it's got a chance that it might be, Oh my god, if it's hollow. Imagine if it's just fucking terrible. Imagine if it's just so bad, and we're all so excited about it. Oh my god, left spin's coming to Beyblade X. Oh no. Oh no.
I just don't think they wouldn't do that. Even like they themselves, they know at least to this extent that they cannot fumble this.
Nah, I mean, I'm very optimistic about it. I feel like it's gonna be great. I mean, that I've maybe seen behind the scenes about this release and maybe a few more for a while, and I've been hyped about this for like a good 2 months, I think, before it came out, or like before the spoilers even started coming out. And when the spoilers came out, and it was like exactly what I had seen, I was like, ooh, we're cooking with this shit for sure. Like, you're gonna see.
If it's not S, it has to be like around A or like high B.
But I mean, it'll
preferably A.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when you put this on ball and you put Rod on ball and you put them in the stadium against each other. If it's gonna like equalize enough with it, if you put it on an attack bit, if it can punch Rod hard enough that it fucks up its balance somehow, It's just it's gonna be interesting. Like left spin being introduced, like in Plastic Gen, it was a lot earlier on. Metal Fight, I don't know how early on it was in that. In Burst, I don't know how early on was in that, but like for me playing Burst, like left spin was a thing as soon as I started playing it, because I played it so late on in its life cycle, that it was really important. And like with X, I think it is going to be a big factor. I don't know when the next left spin bay would be. Yeah, I mean,
like mainly on the extreme line.
Yeah.
When they go on both ways, if they clash. Oh my god, that'd be so sick.
Yeah, it's gonna make for a lot of fun interactions. It's gonna open up different archetypes. A real fun way, I think, for TT to end like season 1 is to just drop this in our laps and then just keep us hungry for more. Just like, I mean, there'll probably be no gaps in releases, like or anything like that. Like it'll just roll straight into the next fucking load of bays and stuff like that. But
I was gonna say something. Like, someone mentioned the protruding plastic earlier. Do you think they did that for like another nod to Plastic Gen? Is that a bit of a stretch? I don't see it on the black shell. You don't really see it protruding out.
No, that is true. Unless
it's like, obviously it's going to be under the metal still, but like,
yeah,
you don't really see it there.
I mean, I'm not sure, but there's that like so the main kind of like turtle heads on I said that, sorry, you're not from wherever, but I said that proper Jana like Plymothian wherever, like, turtle heads, see them fucking turtle heads, boy. But the metal ones here, like in between them, I can't tell if that's metal or plastic poking out between each of them a little bit. Like it's tiny, but that might be plastic, like black plastic poking out of them. So, I mean, if they did that, and you're right, as a callback to Plastic Gen, then I kind of appreciate them even more for that, because that's just like a completely pointless thing that you only do just for those who are like, oh, I wonder. And like, that I like little Easter eggs, silly little things like that. And if any country's gonna do them, it's gonna be Japan. So yeah, that's a good shout.
Oh,
Juice is having.
hang on.
Yep.
I got sent. King sent me So you know the bay grip that I showed you.
Oh yes, yeah,
For the 3D printing.
yeah.
They the people that made it updated their own
Oh nice.
to make it a little bit different. I'll send it to you, but
Oh yeah,
obviously you
sick.
don't have to check it now.
Yeah, sure, sick. Yeah, I loaded the one you sent me into my slicer a little bit ago. It'd be an 8-hour print if I set that one going, so not too long. Not too long.
That one I think is just for string launchers, but I'm assuming this one looks like it's for both.
Ah, sick. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure. But yeah, I think let me just quickly go down chat quickly because I've ignored it for a minute there. I've been proper into.
Alright, I'll just quickly run to the toilet. I'll be right back.
No worries, bro. Paint adds 1 milligram, I think, basing it mostly on Cobalt's Drowned Sword. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I do think the blue plastic will compensate for the paint that we don't get on it. Blade Conspiracy Bay X. That's me. Dark blue weight buff. Yeah, man, like, even on my deck at the moment, even though I like to have everything color coordinated, I just min-max. So my Phoenix wing is on my blue 360 and blue taper because they are my heaviest ones. And then same with my rod. The black 960 is my heaviest one, and this blue ball lol, is my heaviest one. And then my buster is on the Shark Edge 560 because this is my heaviest one, and it's a darker blue in the middle. And this is green, kind of like a dark green type thing, but this is my heaviest low flat. So yeah, a lot of blue parts in my deck that I just dropped and destroyed. So yeah, I think the blue plastic has something to go for it. Left spin will definitely carry it, but equalization won't be as toxic as it was in Burst DB per se. No, probably not, especially for this first release. And it would be hard to see how it will become a huge problem just in X and the way that battles work in it. But yeah, just got to keep an eye on it for sure. Looks like it has good design either way, one for collectors and recolor specialists out there. Yeah, like the blue Phoenix looks super cool. Super cool. And I kind of like the exposed metal on it, like, because it's, even though all the bays have a bit of an intricate design on them, like with the Phoenix one we haven't really been able to see it because of the paint, and it adds that little bit of thickness that softens the details. But with it stripped back completely, like you really see like all the different like strokes and patterns on the wing, the wings of the blade, and I think that'll look really cool. Maroons, imagine win a tournament by hand spin Cobalt Dragoon. Alright, we've set a challenge video for when a Cobalt Dragoon releases, that's for sure. I can see into the future and the numerous videos with titles like how I soloed a tournament with my Dragoon. You're not too far off a video that I'm recording on Sunday. You're not too far off a video I'm recording on Sunday. We don't have Dragoon yet, but we have something else. So yeah, that's you predict these things, GG. You predict these things. Someone asked me how left spin will burst right spin in X. Interesting. Is that because of the way the ratchets line up? Will it twist it the correct way? I haven't thought about that so much. I need Beyblades in my hands to be able to figure this out. Let's grab these two. Alright. So if this was going right, this is going left. So on a right spin, it needs to burst, yeah, this way. So right. Good point. I mean, oh my god, my brain's trying to calculate things right now, and you got me frozen, you got me stumped there. Yeah, that doesn't work the right way around. I mean, it's still gonna make impact, so it's still gonna just like be able to burst from that alone and knocking it around the stadium, knocking bits downwards and stuff like that. But that is an interesting point to make because the ratchet will be set on the opposite side. So technically, it'll be knocking it into place, won't it? Yeah. You just blown my mind, Maruns. Absolutely just blown my goddamn mind.
Oh wait, what I missed?
How will left spin bays burst right spin bays? Because you reset the ratchet. Yeah, I'm just thinking about it now because my brain can't figure it out.
So hard.
Exactly.
That the ratchets just give up.
I mean, you can knock the bits downwards, but you have to get like really low or make the blade hop or something like that normally for that to happen. So.
Oh, I see his message about spinning Dragoon.
Let's just put Dragoon back to F tier then, and put Wizard Rod back to the top. But also with that same logic, how is anything else going to be able to burst Cobalt Dragoon?
It can't.
You know, it can only defeat itself. So, S tier. Yeah, I'm right.
It's just gonna have to be. Yeah, you won't be able to burst it.
It's a tough one.
It's just gonna have to be spin finish, 2 points, knockout, or cream.
We honestly need to get them in hand to just see what happens in real life, because I swear sometimes Beyblades just don't obey physics.
Right.
Maruns, I won't leave you hanging, mate. How? He's just like, I don't know. I don't think Dragoon will spin steel like in burst. No.
Get bursted and then the ratchet comes out.
Yeah, I'm interested. I haven't been thinking about that much. Blue Phoenix equals Articuno Glacial Phoenix. Yeah, I need that one, and I need like a yellow recolor so that I can have legendary birds in the Pokemon series properly.
Zapdos. I need the Galarian versions.
That'd be cool. I like chicken Zapdos.
Disrespect.
It is. It's basically just Asian running. It's like a chocobo kind of looking motherfucker.
Yeah. I do like it too, though. I prefer it over the regular Zapdos.
Although I remember when I was a wee little baby and I had the original plastic Pokemon toys that they released, you'd get one or two with a Master Ball or something like that. And I had my Zapdos one, and I really liked it because it was really pointy, and this is when toys were pointy and still hard and weighty. So when we were inevitably as young kids lobbing them at each other, that was one of the best ones to throw. that and Gengar, because Gengar was just a brick, bro. Gengar was an absolute unit, just thick set chunk of plastic, with pointy ass ears and stuff. That was brutal. You cop a Gengar to your your eye socket, around here, on your forehead or something, where it's just nothing but that was sore as fuck, mate. Sore as fuck. Flashbacks. Now use Dragoon on custom left proto launcher. That'd be cool. A little weak ass launcher for it. I'm pulling the strings, mate. Master of puppets. Yeah, you know everything, mate. You're inside my head. Bits themselves will probably burst more frequently than the ratchet. Yeah, I think that's the way it has to go. Seriously, you can see it a mile away once left spin releases. Yeah, it's going to be busy. It's going to be a busy one. Everyone's going to love the left spin. Watch there be slow-mo burst advantage somewhere. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Dragoon is going to be very good. I think it would be even... No, it wouldn't be better. I think the reason I think that it will be viable for spin equalization is because they've put the heads going to the left. If you look at the Dragoon bays, the original plastic Gen Dragoon bays, for example, the heads don't go the way that it spins. It uses the back of the heads for contact. They're all very, very high recoil attack types. So this isn't going to be as high a recoil because the heads kind of go with it in the smooth bits. But because the hooks are behind them, the heads are behind them there, that makes it better for spin stealing tactics. I don't know if you've seen it. I did a video where I 3D printed a Shark Rash blade that Ghostmaster designed, and I made two combos with it. One of them was a smash attack variation in right spin, but then I made a left spin version, which is a spin stealer, and all those little hooky bits and stuff on it made it really, really good for spin equalization. And honestly, the Cobalt Dragoon blade has an extremely similar design to that Shark Crash blade. So I think it's going to be used on ball, and I think it's going to be used on orb just as much as it's going to be used on attack type parts, you know. Because again, I've said it like 50 fucking times during the stream, stamina is still the like most reliable way to try and win, you know. Avoiding big hits and having a bit that can outspin your opponent is more reliable to win than anything else. So people are definitely going to try and make it work like that, and I think people will have a little bit of success with it. We'll see. Youngster Blade literally battling his Pokemon toys back in the day. Yeah, like, what did you guys do with them? Like, like, did you not know Pokemon were for battling? I was telling my kid about this. Well, I've been just talking to him about it a bunch because he's hit the phase where he's properly obsessed with like trying to catch bugs and frogs and stuff like that in the garden all the time, and when he's at school with his mates, which I think is great. Like, I love it. Like, I used to do it. I still do, chase around little bugs and animals all the time. I'm a bit of a simpleton like that. But he was asking, like, do I ever catch these things, or did I ever catch things? I used to tell him, like, those same, like, Pokeballs you got with those Pokemon toys. We used to try and catch, like, bees in them. And I will give out his last name and everything, but I had a neighbor kid called Kieran, and it'd be like you'd catch like a bee in it and you'd lob it at your mate and be like, go bee drill, and like, just lob a bee and a Pokeball at each other. If you were being really brave, you'd try and catch a wasp and you'd like lob it and they just like run the other way. I don't think I'd do that out here. Like, the bees and the wasps and stuff in the UK are a lot milder than here in Thailand. Like, but yeah, he thought that was hilarious. So did I when I was a kid, to be fair. So yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, you have a 3D print text chat.
Oh, what did I say?
Oh no, I just noticed you have a 3D printing text chat thing in your server. I'm just putting them there.
Oh yeah, sick it. Cheers, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll check that out. What comes up on the stream if I open up my Discord? Does it come up, or can I just
how many screens do you have?
sick. Yeah, no, it's just my interwebs.
Yeah, okay. Your history.
All right, how long have we been going for now, boys? All right, we're approaching the 3-hour mark. Okay, what I'll do at the end of the stream, for those who have stuck around, let me just get to YouTube to begin with. I don't know if it's going to share it on the actual screen, but little announcement. I am going to be running a giveaway for a Dran sword blue metal coat. Okay, that's like sketchy because you can see the chat inside the chat. We got chatception going on the screen at the moment. I do apologize, but I'm going to be doing a giveaway for a Dran sword blue metal coat. I'm going to be making up I was about to say a Google Doc in the next couple of days, and I'll be uploading it with a video that I'll be attaching it to a video that I'll be uploading next week, hopefully at the start of next week. What I'm going to do on Sunday morning my time, when I do my usual watch and unbox stream, I am going to be giving away some membership subs in the chat, so make sure you don't miss that one. Actually, fuck the people coming on Sunday. A bunch of you are stuck in this chat for a long ass time now. I'm going to give away some memberships now. How do I do that? Yeah, I'm going to give them away now. And
you have free ones, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. And when I do the announcement properly, for the giveaway, because you know what a giveaway is like on my channel. I don't just give it away. You gotta win it. So there's gonna be a tournament. It's gonna be a combo tournament. I'll upload the form explaining all the rules. I'll explain the rules in the video. Blah 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 blah, all that shit. But
that sounds.
There is gonna be a little bit of an added bonus for channel members with that giveaway. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you everything now, but I'm gonna drop them into the chat now. So if you're in chat, stick around for a second. Make sure you got the ability to receive gifts in chat, and I'm gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Ba-bam. So yeah, details for the giveaway will come properly at the start of next week. So yeah, all right. There they go. Luxo grabbed one. Sumu. But yeah, if you have won a membership for the channel, you can go check out the members tab. There's a couple of things to vote on still in there, and there's a few different commentaries I've done on G3 and G2 tournaments. So yeah, check them out. Give me your feedback. Always appreciate it. But yeah, I think it's probably about time we knocked that one on the head, Juice. Thank you very much for joining me for that, man. Absolute legend. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. I said a total of probably 10 words tonight.
Mate, I don't know. I've probably not shut up for more than 10 seconds tonight, so you're
Nah, it's great hearing you talk.
I appreciate it, man.
Informative.
Very informative. Me just chatting absolute bollocks. I'm just lying. I'm a like what's it like? I was about to say critical liar. What the fuck? Not chronic liar. Chronic liar. Critical liar. that sounds cool. That sounds like a rap name. Yo, critical liar. That should be my new. Critical rice.
Critical champ.
Critical champ. Rice critical. But yeah, chat. Absolute legends. Like.
Rice critical. Voice critical. Okay.
Normally I go through read everyone's names, but honestly, it's very flattering. There have been so many of you coming through today. Loads of the OGs, loads of new names coming in. Bollocks tier list. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think it was probably right at some point in the like chronology of this tier list. It was probably spot on for a moment, and then probably fell apart by the time it got to like Unicorn and stuff like that coming out. Like, I imagine, because they were just releases we completely forgot about for a moment. Whack as fuck. But yeah, really appreciate it, chat. You've been absolute legends sticking around. I will see you probably. I might be able to stream tomorrow. If I stream tomorrow, I'll probably be playing a game. What I will be playing, I don't know. I might put up a poll. Like, funnily enough, you know that burst roguelike Contrablade thing that I was playing? That's, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a wild game, bro. Wild. It's just stolen the aesthetic of Beyblade Burst and made like a weak attempt at a roguelike game with it.
Is the one you played before?
Yes, yeah, one I played before, but I've only beaten like 3 levels on it. Jesus, tier list fell off. Yeah.
I don't know if it was how many games have you played so far for Beyblade? Because I remember watching one with Baker as well.
God damn. Yeah, that was probably that one then, I imagine. That was probably that one. Because I haven't streamed me playing any other Beyblade game but that one on the channel. Like, when we're talking about Beyblade games I played, this is back when I was like 10 years old in 2002 when it was on like PS1. Like those were the games I was playing for Beyblade. I haven't owned any of the Switch games or anything since, like DS games at all. Only played like the original like PS1 games and PS2 games and stuff. So yeah, that was the first one. Thanks to make my day not boring. Wicked, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. It's a lot of fun to chat shit with you all, especially about Beyblades.
The pause between chat and shit was
I was gonna say something else. I was like, I was meant to say it's nice to sit down here and chat shit with you all, but I didn't say sit down, so I just went, it's nice to chat, and my brain was thinking sit down, like chat, sit down, shit, like that don't make sense. Like let's just skip a couple words and get straight to the shit. Like,
shitting event.
all right, you can probably tell I should stop streaming by this point because my brain is slowly malfunctioning, like my mouth.
Okay.
But yeah.
Elliot, 20 seconds to start malfunctioning during.
But bro, he can pump out the push-ups. Like he can pump out the push-ups. That's for sure. Like I think he's built like a little Popeye. Like I imagine he's not very tall, but he's got like big arms. Like like one of those guys that just was born with like a.
Height before, but I can't.
Like he just seems like he's probably got like a bit of a barrel chest and like strong shoulders and arms, but he's only like 2 foot tall, so like it's not a lot of weight to move when he's doing press ups and stuff. Not a lot of leverage going on there. GG's telling us to log off, but this is the bit of the stream where we talk shit about other Baytubers. Actually, speaking of Elliot and Alex, they've just received a little present from me, so I think I'll see something about that next month. We'll see.
What they get?
Well, it's not even spoilers because I announced it when they were in one of my lives at one point because they were on Blade Dragons. They were chatting shit about the gold recolors for X, and that they just don't think they like the look of any of them. And I was like, neither of you boys have seen any of them in real life, have you?
You sent them one?
Well, during the chat, I was like, okay, if I win the G3 tournament today, I'll send you the Night Shield blade I win. And I won the tournament that day, so yeah, I've sent them a Night Shield.
Fuck those guys! I would have killed for that. Why would they don't deserve it? Metal isn't even a Baytube anymore. He fucks with Thomas.
He fucks with Thomas.
Oh, ridiculous! No, which one did you send it to? Because they both live like.
I've sent it to Elliot because I think Alex is traveling up to visit him some point next month.
They're gonna fight over it.
That's what I hope so. I hope so. They got. I know. This is part of my plan. The seeds I'm planting, ready for our podcast to take over, is I'm splitting up the Blade Dragons from within with internal conflict. Like they can't get over who wins the G3 prize. Like this is perfect. It's perfect because they spent so much time shit talking gold recolors, and now their downfall is going to be wanting one. So, yeah, that's
No, the gold recolors look really nice this gen. I haven't used my Hell Scythe yet.
Well, bro, I'm looking at my Hell Scythe right now, and it's.
Well, that's because it's the only one I got. So.
Well, Hell Scythe's the only gold blade I got that I haven't battled with yet. I've battled with my Leon Claw. I've used the taper bit from Hell Scythe already, but I haven't used the blade yet.
Oh yeah. I have 3 of the Leon Claws.
And also, like.
I'd gladly use one of them.
The gold launcher is nice. I prefer my silver one, like aesthetically. And I'm not gonna lie, the G1 prizes, because I've seen them IRL now. The bronze Dransword looks so good. So good. Like, the silver and gold one look nice, but the bronze one, in real life, is tasty. And Gold Wizard Rod, yeah. You're right, Murons. He'll be a monster. Yeah, no, it's nice, man. It's nice. I'll tell you what, because I don't need any more of them. You can Bagsy the next. If I win another Gold Night Shield, you can have that one.
Sorry, could you show the launcher again? I missed
it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I'm hearing you talk on Discord, and then I'm watching the stream. Then I looked away, and then as I looked back, that's when you pushed it back onto the shelf.
It's not focusing up very well because I haven't got the light situated too well on it, but
that's alright. I've seen the silver one you've used.
Yeah,
that one looks nice.
Yeah, I like the look of the silver one more, but the gold one is nice, and it's nice. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not nice to own a gold one, Yeah, bronze metal coat feels more rare than the gold metal coat. It looks so nice. So when we were all there, everyone was like stood by the box of all the things. And like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we all want to win the gold one, but we all want to own the bronze one. You know? Well, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
actually,
nice.
I'm actually going to say goodbye properly now. But absolute legends, a lot of you. Juice, thank you again, bro. Absolute hero. I'm gonna
Yes, sir.
stop the stream now. Catch you in the next one, Beybladers. Peace!